because again, he grew up on
Thank
DC
you for
Comics.
being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. And if you threw a party, you invited everyone you knew. You would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, "Thank you for being a friend."
Blanche, I'm trying to decide what to get Dorothy for her birthday. What do you think about this? Good-looking, single white male seeks fun times on a regular basis.
Well, it's something she doesn't have.
Hi.
Dorothy, you're home from school.
Oh, Ma, do you realize you've said the same thing to me just that way ever since I was in the 3rd grade? That's sweet.
It's not sweet. It's pathetic. 52 years and you never stopped off anywhere. Get a life. So did you teach anybody anything today?
Well, I tried, but it seems none of the kids are interested in learning how to diagram sentences. I really don't get it. I mean, am I the only one who thinks diagramming sentences is fun?
You talk like this on dates, don't you?
Dorothy, you're a substitute. Your job isn't actually to teach,
Then what is it?
but to keep the kids from burning the school down before the other teacher gets back. Hi, Rose.
Oh, hi, honey.
Rose, honey, is something the matter?
I just got back from having my teeth worked on.
Oh, what was it? A wisdom tooth?
My dentist touched me. I think he felt my breast.
Oh, Rose, that's terrible.
What happened?
Well, when the nitrous oxide wore off and my head began to clear, Lou, that's my dentist, said he was checking my heartbeat, but I think he was up to more than that.
Well, why, Rose? I mean, what gave you that idea?
I don't think wowie wah wah wow is a medical term.
How can he do a thing like that?
And believe me, just because men in the medical profession wear white does not mean that they're angels.
He did something horrible and unethical, and he has to answer for it. We are going to find out who the proper authorities are, and you're going to lodge a formal complaint.
I wish men would have breasts, just for one day. Then they'd know what it's like to be judged by some physical trait. I mean, just because I'm built like this, you wouldn't believe how many people think I'm dumb.
Rose, you're too hard on yourself. I know people who think you're dumb over the phone.
I figured I'd share that with everybody. That was
Oh my
real
God.
I don't even know what episode that was, but man, oh man, Golden Girls had a lot to say. Good evening, UN Spacey Will Squadron. This is you, Will Commander Brooks. Man, I'm all over the place right now, but I'm still your werewolf. And tonight we are addressing Leia's worries.
Oh my God!
Extreme Awakenings are back. She was asking Final in particular, since he's Gen Z apparently. When the fuck did we slap that label on his ass?
Oh goodness!
She was asking him some particular questions, and I figured we'd bring our good friend Ginell to reassure her that everything's gonna be okay for Gen Z, here and there and everywhere. So Ginell with us will speak to us about what's been going on with, if she's willing to bring her son into the mix, that is, or what her son's testimonies have been about him and his peers. I'm sure she can alleviate Leia's worries, considering our entertainment and the entertainment that's been pushed towards our younger generation as of now, the current generation that is. Oh, and we're going to talk about fathers tonight as well because Father's Day is in 2 days after this, or 3 days. 3 days.
I'm so excited about Father's Day. I can't wait for my husband to see the gifts Chris and I got him. So cool. Sorry,
So
I love
Father's
Father's Day.
so with Father's Day in mind, we are going to talk about. Sorry, explain this on you, Janelle, but I'm pretty sure you can think of some father characters at the top of your head, or you can follow along with us. But we're going to bring up our favorite father characters or father figures, much like what we did with the Mother's Day stream, which is they're our favorite female mother or mother figure or motherly characters. The good, the bad, and the ugly. So we got so in that stream, back then, we're talking about good mothers, great mothers, bad mothers, and ugly mothers, as in very messed up mothers. So I'm pretty sure it should be easy for us for good fathers, great fathers, bad fathers, and really nasty daddies. So without further ado, we are here with our usual Mead Goddess, Ginell.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me on the show again. I look forward to the discussions tonight.
We have our warrior of our usual suspect, the lovely Leia Leia plus size.
Good evening, everyone. This is Leia Plus Size, your lovely lady of valor, and welcome to this conversation. And despite Wolf's worries, my questions were not words of concerns, but just out of pure curiosity. So it should be a very interesting conversation this evening.
Sure, they were. We have the subject of said stream last week, the Warrior of Light Final Fantasy Fan 12.
Greetings to viewers and my fellow Final Fantasy fans. This is Final Fantasy Fan 12 and welcome back to another live stream of the UN Spacey Wolf Squadron. And today we got a lot to talk about. Not only with this being a chill stream starring Ginell, our X-Men fanatic, and Leia plus size, but also talking about our favorite father figures in fiction, as well as talking about some real life fathers, as Father's Day is coming up in the next 3 days. So why don't we sit around and have a talk?
He sound way more chipper. This nigga got on that happy sauce, didn't he?
Oh my goodness! Oh goodness!
He even copy my lingo. I think I'm becoming more of a father figure to him. Or mentor.
I mean, you're the leader.
I'm telling you right now, your graduation day better be having a girl with an arm sling all over your neck.
Oh my goodness!
He never stops. He never. Hold on. Yeah, oh, she's this way. He never stops nagging me on trying to find a date.
Look, man. Like I said,
God.
your graduation after I mentored you, you better have some girls hanging off of you. You got the hair, you got the looks, you got the voice,
God.
you got the singing down pat. If the girls ain't wet for you, we done failed. We done failed you. Both me and Dom. Because he's a substitute.
My goodness.
People will find
What the frick does he have to do with it?
Because he's a substitute.
Oh my goodness.
What you say, Humble?
Well, when it comes to the romantic stuff, people will find who they'll find on their own time.
No shit.
Thank you,
all
Humble.
I'm saying is he need to be a hunter.
Oh no.
He got that hunter blood in him. Anyways, since she spoke up, we have who's also dressed for the occasion, the Humbles Arise Humble Marty. And what the hell that says underneath your name?
Just got here.
Just got here?
I'm Humble Marty. I write scenes. I also don't update the little text thingy underneath my name as often.
And what looks like a family portrait of unicorns?
It's Corkhorn and his parents before they got shot.
No, Corkhorn's parents didn't get shot.
I'm kidding. Looks like Crime Alley. It looks like a Crime Alley scene.
Oh, you think he just becomes Batman?
No, he just
Fourth
becomes
quarter was
corpulent.
the comparable Batman. He's like the size of a. He's short.
He's too
And
chipper.
he has a voice that is as
And
light.
yet you say that his parents would later be murdered and look like a Crime Alley scene, and yet you're bringing in Batman parallels?
I mean, look at it. Doesn't it remind you of Crime Alley?
Not in the slightest.
Flowers remind you of Crime Alley.
They look like they left the theater.
They're not in an alleyway. It looks like it's ripped from the sweater. Because look, you could kind of see the string in the background if you look closely.
The gray blotch background looks like a Rorschach ink blotch. You can make shit up by looking at it. Anyways, we have the Hound of the South, Donic Pal.
Good evening, morning, or afternoon, everyone. This is the Hound of the South, Dominic Powell, and welcome to our fusion stream between the chill stream as well as the real millennials, where today we are going to talk about fathers in fiction as well as ones in real life, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Oh, shit,
Hope you enjoy the show.
Wolf, you could have let Dom finish. My God, right in the middle of Dom talking. And you get final pulling out his wizard book.
It's called Comedy, Leia.
But Dom was talking, and you just stepped right over him.
Yeah, Ginell. Now, as the resident straight man of this bunch, this is what I have to deal with, even as a second in command.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It's not your fault. It's just Wolf's impeccable comedy.
Well, I must say, in that montage that Wolf just showed, there was actually a character that is a good father. Well, you don't see him, but you see his son, and that's Goofy during the Goof Troop era. I love
There's
Goof
also Nobody. The guy who's getting his ass beat in the bus. He's actually a dad. He's also a dad too. A father of two, son and daughter. Watch that movie, Nobody.
Nobody? I've been wanting to see Nobody for a while.
It's really good.
That's
I call
Bob
it
Odenkirk, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the name of his character is Hutch Mansell.
I like to call it the Odyssey, but in real life. I like to make him an analogy of Odysseus trying to get back to Ithaca. That's how. Well, I'll explain more next time when we review Nobody.
Okay, everybody, Ended is even saying it. So, all right, guys, I will try to watch Nobody as soon as possible.
But first, alleviate Leia's worries.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, well,
They were was a conversation. They were not worries. And I know this. And when I meet we, I'm going to post a video that had a similar conversation that was very, very good. That was sort of kind of what I
She's so
was doing.
sensitive.
Well, it wasn't. It was just a curious. It was just a curious. I was just curious. That's all. I had this
Well,
conversation with my nephews the other day.
Janelle's here to put a big smile on your face. Let's hear what
Oh.
Janelle.
What? No, I'm not here to put a baseball in her face. I will say something that people need to realize. My husband pointed this out to me because I was bitching about today's entertainment. I'm like, entertainment is shit. The kids are screwed. And my husband said, we have almost a century's worth of entertainment right now at the fingertips of everyone. There is plenty of good entertainment. Now, what my husband and I have done, because my son is like, today's entertainment is for morons. I'm paraphrasing. We've been showing him stuff from the past. So I talked about it on Pissed Off Gen Xers, but we showed my son 2001: A Space Odyssey, which he says is brilliant. He loves that movie. We have shown him John Carpenter's They Live, which he thought was really weird, and he thinks John Carpenter is weird, but he did not dislike it. We are on the last hour of the expanded and extended edition of The Return of the King,
Okay,
and he loves the Lord of the Rings series now because he thought that fantasy movies were Disney princesses. So thank you, Disney, for screwing that one up for fantasy. Yeah, he refused to watch anything that had a fantasy label on it because he thought that was Disney princesses. And then he saw my husband watching Fellowship of the Ring and sat down and has been hooked since. In our immaturity, we have shown him Daria and Beavis and Butthead, and he absolutely adores those shows. He says that the kids in those shows act like that still today. So you have your Kevin, your Britneys, your Darias. He says that there are kids that are just like Beavis and Butthead at school. I said, yeah, honey, most kids are. Oh gosh, what else have we shown him? God, we watched. Oh, he loves 1984. He really loves anything dystopian science fiction. So, my son is.
Road there.
We'll probably show him The Road. I know that's what we like to do. Is he likes to watch heavy movies, and then he likes to watch absolutely batshit insane comedies. So, like we watched 1984 and 2001 and Fellowship of the Rings in a row over the course of 2 weeks. And he said he needed a palate cleanser. So we showed him the movie Vacation, which that was the first time I saw my kid laugh so hard he had tears come out of his eyes and he fell out of the chair he was sitting in. I've never seen my son do that. We showed him European Vacation, which he said was raunchier than Vacation, but not as funny as Vacation, but still good. My husband bought Stand By Me, so we're going to watch that this summer because that's like a coming of age movie that I think all teenagers need to watch. Yeah. We've shown him Terminator 2, and when we showed him Terminator 2, he wanted to grow up to be John Connor. But he also wanted to control Skynet. Instead of having Skynet be the enemy.
Oh, he's becoming the elusive man.
Slave.
I'm sorry, I'm going giddy as you're saying this.
We've shown him Uncle Buck, which got him into John Hughes movies. He also likes the Christmas movies that we show him every year that are a mainstay. We always have to watch Christmas Vacation. We watch Better Off Dead. We watch Home Alone. None of these things have come out recently. These are all things that Steve and I have grown up on. And even before that, like with 2001 and 1984. 1984, when that came out, I was a little kid. Obviously, I wasn't even a twinkle in my parents' eyes when 2001 came out, because that was 1968. We aren't really showing him anything new. And the few things that we have shown him that are new came out ages ago. So He liked Inside Out when that first came out. He liked Zootopia. He liked Coco. That's about it for Disney. He thought Frozen was cool when he was a toddler, and then he realized it was a girly movie and said, "No, don't ever show that to me again." So we didn't. There was
So
an
wait, a
entire
quick question. You
year.
showed him the film adaptation of 1984. Did you also give him the book too?
He read the book first.
Mm.
Yes, that is one of his favorite books. My son is so into 1984 that we bought him an actual ingsoc flag as a congratulations for being on the honor roll all year at school this year. He also, I bought him a ingsoc t-shirt that he wears to school that only his teachers understand.
Oh,
His
damn.
background on his Google Chromebook is the ingsoc flag, and he's drawn the insignia all over his books and folders for school. My son loves that book. He does not like communism. He likes it because it's the proof that communism doesn't work in the most beautiful way possible. So
Are
yeah,
you gonna show him The Giver?
he actually read the book The Giver in school this year, and he liked it. He watched the movie for the end. They watched The Giver for the end of the year in his language arts class, and he didn't like it because he said they cut out half the book, and it really
They
pissed him
did.
off.
They
Yeah.
really did. Oh my
And
goodness, they did.
he after we finish Lord of the Rings trilogy, he's reading Animal Farm right now, and then he's going to start we have the trilogy in one giant omnibus in
Oh,
book
wow.
form, so he said that's what he's going to read this summer. So I mean, my son, we have allowed him to watch things in the present, but he doesn't want to. I mean, he was paying for Disney Plus with his own allowance so he could keep watching the older seasons of The Simpsons. Not the newer ones, the older ones.
Oh wow.
I mean, yeah, his math teacher introduced him to Ed, Ed, and Eddie this week.
Oh,
They were watching.
you know what you
Yeah,
need to do one day? You guys got Marathon Godzilla on Tubi at least with him.
actually, I want to show him old school Godzilla though.
That's what I mean. They
Oh,
got
okay, yeah.
everything Godzilla on there, and they got all the Ultramans on there.
Yes, we this summer, my son has asked for us to watch movies at least once or twice a week, and we're taking him up on it because he's getting to the age where eventually he's going to want nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have a ton of books and movies that he can read. He did try Harry Potter, and he says it's just too fantasy for him and too unrealistic. So that's where we figured
Potter in
he,
the
he
In
really
a
likes
fantasy?
he really
What?
likes Lord of the Rings because he calls that more realistic fantasy, and I see where he's coming from. It's also serious fantasy, whereas Harry Potter made his eyes roll because there was drama. Like,
Well, yeah, to be fair, there's lots of high school drama.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
but even like in fantasy, there is still drama.
Yeah,
I did
wuxia, the wuxia
wait,
stories
wait.
are very infamous for this.
Sorry. Wait. Continue. Continue.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna age myself here. Have any of you guys watched the airport movies?
Yeah.
I think my parents have, but no.
Okay, I really did. If
I
you
haven't
said
seen
your
them in a
parents,
while.
dear God. Okay, Chris, I shouldn't be saying my son's name, but okay. My son, he's really into airplanes, all sorts of airplanes. It's one of the things that him and Ishi bond over, anything like jets, you name it. I remember watching the airport series because I'm really into
Sorry, my
the
wife is coughing.
1960s and
Be there.
70s disaster films. And so I bought the entire collection, and we watched the first two movies, and he loved it. And those were made in the 60s and 70s. So yeah, I mean, my son likes movies not of today. He really could never get into Marvel movies. He did like the Spider-Man films, but I haven't seen a problem with when I say Spider-Man, the Tom Holland ones. We are going to show him the Tobey Maguire ones.
Mm.
But he likes Doctor Strange as well, and he liked WandaVision. But this is also, my son said that when he grows up, he wants to be a benevolent dictator. And he really liked Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, and Vision because they were OP. And I don't know if I've told the story. When we took him to see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, under his breath, he was justifying every single thing Wanda did in that movie.
Oh my, no,
Oh my lord.
no, no.
Poor guy. He
Your
doesn't
son
know
has some
yet.
very
He
Poor
was so
son.
mad at the end. That was when he's like, I'm not watching any other MCU movie. My favorite character is dead.
Your son has some very particular tastes.
Janelle, as soon as
Um,
possible, please introduce her to the real Wanda Maximoff.
I will. I have explained to him the tragedy of Wanda Maximoff. Like I said, my son just liked the fact that her and Doctor Strange and Vision were so OP. He's like, if more comic book characters were like they were, he would be more into it. He did
you
like
gotta lead. You gotta lead with. Do you ever hear the tale of Wanda Maximoff the Wise? She was so very strong in the arcane and mysticism. She could manipulate the. She can manipulate the mana to create life. She can create her own babies, despite dating a machine. And tragically, she lost her powers, which she did. She was betrayed by her friends. They stabbed her in the back. Ironic. She can create others, but she could not recreate herself. And make sure your son asks this. Is there any way to learn this knowledge? Not from Disney.
I think if we can get him through the first two prequel movies, because I know right now he's gonna be like, why is this happening? I think he would really love Revenge of the Sith. In hindsight, Phantom Menace is much better than I thought it was when I first saw it. There is no forgiving Attack of the Clones. Revenge of the Sith was gold. And speaking of Star Wars, there was an entire year where my son was obsessed with A New Hope, and we watched it almost every single day. He actually went as Luke Skywalker in his pilot uniform from A New Hope for Halloween, and we even grew out his hair so he looked like a young Mark Hamill. It was adorable.
Oh, you guys gotta find yourselves a used N64 so he can play Rogue Squadron.
He would love Rogue Squadron. I also want to find the old Robotech game for PS2 because
Yeah,
he loved
Battlecry.
Robotech. He loved Macross, and then we sat him down to watch Southern Cross, and he lasted 10 minutes for it. Said, "Yep, this is boring. Can we watch Macross again?"
Wow.
It was so bad that he didn't even want to watch Mosquito. When we said, "No, buddy, it gets better," he's like, "No, I'm okay with Macross. We'll watch season 1 again." So we
get
did.
him on Plus then. He
He
was
would
watching on a
love
sheer virtue.
Macross Plus.
He
That's
would
such
watch
a
it on a sheer
good movie.
virtue over the fact that it's called Macross.
Let's see what else have we got him to watch. He liked anime for a while, but one of his friends became so obsessed with it, they ruined it for him.
Oh,
so
no.
she
I
killed
feel his
Hunter
pain.
Hunter for him while him and I
Oh,
were watching it
no.
together. She blew the entire ending, and that's when Chris is like, I don't like anime anymore. But
I
my
feel this
son
pain.
my son watched Sergeant Frog with me. He was a huge fairy tale fanatic. His favorite characters were Natsu and Happy. I got him wall scrolls from Anime California when we'd go to that convention. He was big into Mega Man. He had the Mega Man manga. He had the old cartoon. He had the games. He would play Mega Man religiously. And speaking of games, he really only likes Nintendo games. So like anything especially has to do with Mario. What else have we shown him? I'm looking at my list here. Oh yeah, he still likes Studio Ghibli though. His favorite Studio Ghibli movie is Ponyo. We've also shown him Princess Mononoke and My Neighbor Totoro. So I think you guys are seeing a pattern here.
You guys?
Oh, yes.
He
Actually,
likes
got,
both. No, real quick,
I got-
he also likes both the Tron films.
Okay. old school Tron and Tron Legacy.
Yes.
Right.
Very much
Okay,
so.
we need to go through these comments. Jesus Christ, I love you guys. I love you guys. You got,
Oh
you guys are
my lord!
Jesus Christ.
But oh yeah,
Who
now that
was
you
it
talked
Usually
that
you guys
said
are
my son's
silent.
going to grow up and create actual Hitman Wanderer? I would not be surprised if my son attempted to do that.
And oh yeah, Janelle, since you
Yeah.
brought up Studio Ghibli, there is actually
Mhm.
one game that I recommend that your son would absolutely play if he's into those kinds of games. It is made by Studio Ghibli with the animation style. It's Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch. That game is
I want to
amazing.
play that too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
And
Right.
also give him Ni no Kuni 2: Revenant Kingdom for a good measure, even though it's a completely different story, but it's for good measure.
Okay. And I also want to say, video game wise, I don't know if this is going to cause people to have a heart attack. Probably not. He thinks Fortnite is the biggest pile of dog doo doo, and he mocks people who play it. My son likes to play things like Kerbal Space Program, Universal Sandbox. He likes to play Roblox, but when I say Roblox, it's literally Rise of Nations, which is the Roblox version of Hearts of Iron, which is a World War II simulator. He plays Civilization. He plays SimCity. He likes to build. So yeah, he has not good things to say about Fortnite, which is really funny that because that's a shooter.
Yeah.
He likes to actually use guns. So I mean, he won't play it as a shooter, but if you get him a Nerf gun or a gel gun, he'll shoot. I'm taking him to Airsoft this summer so he can go shoot targets. And he wants to go to an actual gun range and be taught how to use a gun.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm one of those parents. Yeah, I believe in
can't
2A.
really blame him. Although live service are very much all the rage now, because really a lot of MMOs pretty much are live service games to a certain degree, more or less.
Yeah,
because those are still very big.
He was. My son is starting to spook you. No, don't be spooked, please. You can listen to stories from Kat and Ishi about my son, because this is the same kid who, after meeting Kat and Ishi for the second time, met their rat and decided he wanted pet rats, and he does not believe in harming animals. He thinks that that's bad. Also, he's a cat person more than a dog person, and he says that it would be okay if cats took over the world and we worship them, and the Egyptians were right in worshiping them.
I think that boy's been secretly watching Love, Death, Robots.
No.
I'm kidding.
No. That's not his cup of tea. He would mock that show.
He would. Especially the first season.
When I say he's into guns, by the way, he likes to go out with his friends, and they are in 2 army camps, and they have a war in the park with gel pellets or paint gun pellets or Nerf gun. He's not actually trying to be psycho. I'm just saying, I know people have been worried that kids are spending too much time on the computer. Kids are, addicted to TikTok. My son actually, and it's not just him, it's a lot of his friends, they have figured out how to regulate, and they want to go outside. So not only are a lot of kids now are not watching crap and drivel that's coming out, they're not playing the drivel that's coming out game-wise. And a lot of kids want to be outside now. So, I mean, what I'm trying to say is the pendulum's starting to swing back, and a lot of kids, not without their parents pushing, are not watching the new stuff. They are discovering that movies were great back in the day. My son's a huge Mel Brooks fan and is a huge Monty Python fan.
Here's what I argue, Janelle. Here's why I argue. It's not that kids are wanting to go outside. They've always it's in a kid's nature to want to be outside. Whether they are an introvert or an extrovert, they're going to be out. They're going to want to be outside anyways. It's within our genetic nature to be outdoors.
That's true.
Yeah.
The thing is that a lot of adults assume that kids want something. But in their innate nature, they always will gravitate towards that one thing: freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom, most of all. They want to be out and free and get all that energy out of them, regardless. Like, You're saying they want to be outside more? No, they've always wanted to be outside. We were denying them that.
Well, yeah,
That's the
because
thing.
helicopter parenting became a thing.
Hmm.
What
We were
kind
always denying them that. My mom never kept me outside, excuse me, my mom never kept me inside. Me and my brother. In fact, half the time she had to tell. There were times she had to tell us to go outside. We would go outside. It's more of a, oh, thank you, mom. We can go outside now.
it's kind of I'm sorry for interrupting. It's kind of funny because what Janelle just described replayed the plot of a Simpsons episode where Marge decided to call the TV studio and they nerfed the Violent Cat cartoon.
I
Everyone used
remember
Itchy
that
and scratchy.
episode.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen a
Marge
clip
versus
of that
yeah.
episode.
yes, that's
Yeah,
basically
one of the favorite
it's
episodes.
it's basically what's happening right now. And one of the other funniest things I've gotten to see is during 2020 when they had COVID and everyone had to stay 6 feet apart. The kids would run down the aisle because no one was there to stop them. Or when they were supposed to wear masks, this one kid, I don't know, he was probably trying to look at his grocery list. He decided to stick his mask to his face while he was trying to walk down the aisle. And right now, the most popular thing in the store that I work at has been Beanie Babies. And 2 hours in, the first thing that's cleared off the shelves have been trash pandas, well, raccoons, I should say.
No, trash pandas. That's
yeah,
a better
trash
name.
Pandas, the little pose me like your French girl frogs. So they're called beanie bellies. You can actually pose them like French girls. I kind of post them like that all over Safeway. And
Oh my goodness.
and basically dogs and cats. It's right next to the condiment section. This parent goes, turns the cart, going by. This kid sees this big thing. And he's like, I want 1,000,000 of those pets. Well, the parent doesn't look behind her. She just pats him on the head 1,000,000 times. And then his brother, right in the bottom of the shopping cart, is like, I too want 1,000,000 pets.
What's great about that episode of Marge versus Itchy and Scratchy is why that's one of my favorites. And that's back when The Simpsons had good writing, when it was good. Because I only watched the 90s Simpsons. It showed the flaw in Marge's reasoning or the hypocrisy in Marge's reasoning. That's what I liked about the show. It wasn't just animated because cartoon characters are bad and we need to ban it, but it also shows Marge's hypocrisy as well. You know,
Yeah,
it
because
showed the two sides of it. That's what I liked about it.
I like the fact that the Reverend's wife wanted her to help her protest against the statue of David, and Marge turns around and says, "Oh no, that's art." And then everybody was like, "You're a hypocrite." That was what I thought was so brilliant about that episode.
Yeah, I thought that was really brilliant. Yeah, she got called out. Yeah, and it wasn't. Yeah, and then she realized, there's really not too much she could say because they called her out, and then I forgot the name of the therapist on the show when she went on Smart Line. I think it was 2 cents. He called her out. That okay, here you are protesting all this about Itchy Scratchy, but everybody should look at the pure nakedness of Michelangelo's David. So how can you slash one for another? And you were right. That was really that's what made that episode really work. That was really brilliant. It wasn't just all. That's what I loved about it. Just all, we gotta ban everything. We gotta cancel everything. We gotta ban the Itchy Scratchy. It's causing kids to be violent. They show that.
Nerd.
Yeah,
I remember more the plot because Bart and all the other kids, they actually had so much to talk about at the dinner table, and then the tragedy of when Itchy and Scratchy went back to being its normal self, and the kids decided to stay in the house to watch TV all the time again.
Yeah, well, that's what makes that show work. It shows every side of the coin. Like you said, when Itchy and Scratchy, like you said, you make a good point. When Itchy and Scratchy were canceled, nobody was watching Krusty and the show anymore. They went outside to play. You see the scene where they all went outside and went back to the playground
That
and
was a
played
wholesome
and
scene.
music and jumping and fun. And then, like she said, table. But the minute Itchy and Scratchy returned, boy, that swing that was over. And then the dinner table was over, and they were back to being glued to the TV. So
And
it does show, yeah, all sides of the coin.
And the irony of it is the only time we've seen that good writing again ended up being in the kids show Bluey because of Bandit. Like they had one episode with the ice cream thing, and Bandit bought both his kids an ice cream cone. Well, they mess around and it flops on the floor. He's like, I want another ice cream cone. No, you got a life lesson. I don't want a life lesson. I want an ice cream.
That's true. That's when the Simpsons. I watched the Simpsons through the '90s. Once they got to the 2000s and Conan O'Brien left, because I thought the one reason I think the Simpsons were good is because he wrote for that show a lot. He was a good writer for that show. I stopped watching it because it stopped being funny, and it just stopped having good writing. It was still humorous, but the writing was not as sharp as it was in the '90s. The '90s was definitely their decade.
I stopped when they couldn't even. I stopped when they didn't let Homer die. It's like y'all
You wanted
motherfuckers
to
are
let
not
Homer?
that risky.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like if you have an episode where he dies, that would have been like an interesting progression of the Simpsons Springfield's universe right there, an earth shaking change up like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see them explore that. Like what would happen if Homer suddenly died and there was no coming back from that. Like we already had Maud Flanders pass away. We had Bleeding Guns Murphy pass away, but Homer, like wow, like nobody's safe in this show. And if I had to wrote that, I would have wrote Bart having to man up to really get his studies going, be the breadwinner, and Lisa in kind. Like we were actually going to go into the future versions of Bart and Lisa, but the difference is that every time we do the future tense episodes, Homer was there, but we have a future where Homer's not, and I wanted to see I wanted to see what would that have been like, you know.
They had at least one future episode where everyone in the future generations was happy, and Bart Simpson wasn't the loser high school dropout of the group.
Yeah.
I find that show to be kind of disconcerting with Bart because like it'd be kind of funny if, since he's like one of those that he wasn't very education based, it would have been kind of funny if he ended up being like the Elon Musk instead, because he was the guy that figured out how to destroy every window of the school with enough megaphones.
We're far into the 40-minute mark, so Leia, from what Ginell has said to you, do you, like Leia herself from Star Wars, have hope?
Of course I do. Well, first of all, let me say this. I want to defend myself for this. Since I'm going to answer your question in two ways. Here's the first way. And then first of all, yes. But here's why I react the way. Let me react the way I react. Being as someone who grew up with the original trilogy Star Wars, who remembers Star Wars in its golden age, who was a child when I saw Star Wars, the original Star Wars in theaters, when all the magic, when Toys R Us was filled with all the toys, when you eat every Happy Meal I could find at McDonald's because I wanted to get all the glasses and collect all the glasses, to have all the merchandise, soundtracks, to remember all of this. Luke Skywalker has been my hero from yay high, always has been. I don't have a problem being angry at what I'm seeing what's happened to it now, because it's kind of like watching a family member get their name slashed through the mud. Somebody says something to dishonor your family or spread lies about your family member, whether it's your father, your mother, your sister, your uncle. So, and it's a lie, and you've got to try to prove that.
Mm-hmm.
So my anger towards that, I feel, is justified. I think it's okay to be angry at what we're seeing because we're watching basically a genocide of culture. Now, having said that, and listening to Janelle, I do know that there are others out there that do know what Star Wars is truly all about. Now, I have no children of my own, but I help raise my nephews. I love them very much, and I remember my oldest nephew. I remember showing when he was old enough. I showed him Star Wars for the first time on DVD, and he enjoyed it. He enjoyed all three of the trilogies when he was much younger. I remember telling him one day I was babysitting him at home, and we got some popcorn and sat for the TV, and I said, "Today you're going to learn about the ways of the Force." And this a galaxy far, far away, and a fella named Luke Skywalker. He says, "Okay, Aunt." And for the most part, he thought the movies were pretty cool. I remember one time he went to Toys R Us and got himself a toy lightsaber and went out, and then he showed me, "Oh, let me show you some of my Jedi moves." This when he was young, and I thought it was so cute. So even for him, and then growing up in the '90s as he did, he understood what Star Wars was all about. So even if he didn't like it, I told him it was okay. I was just passing it on to you. But I do have hope. Let me say this: I do have hope that this generation now, with him being in his late 20s, he realizes that Disney Star Wars is pure crap, and he doesn't watch a lot of it because he just says it's stupid now. And he does love the prequels. He was a teenager when the prequels came out, and for the most part, he thought they were pretty cool. The Revenge of the Sith was really great, so he really liked that. So I do have faith that I know that most of them know that, and the records and ratings and merchandise shows that this generation is not going for Disney Star Wars, because all of the stuff coming out of Kathleen Kennedy is, I've seen it in Family Dollars in the dollar bin. I've seen them in the grocery stores sitting in the about 3 for $1. I mean, crowded. Mostly this is Disney Star Wars stuff, not classic Star Wars stuff. So I do have a hope that they know what's being fed to them is a lie and pure garbage, and that they know what the true stuff is. And I think that's starting to show now with the ratings and the fact that nobody's buying
I mean,
any
it's
of
becoming very apparent now, yeah.
yes, yes.
Well, I was going to say the Disney sequel trilogy, or Disney just ruined Star Wars for my kid. He saw just a half hour of the Force Awakens, and he's like, no, I don't like this, and he refused to see anything that has come out since. He wouldn't even watch The Mandalorian with us when Steve and I were watching we watched the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian, and then they fired Gina Carano, so we were like, we're done.
You want to know my reason why I won't watch
Yeah.
The Mandalorian?
My nephew, same way. Go ahead, Will.
Because I didn't give a shit about the damn Mandalorians after Filoni's Star Wars Clone Wars. People heard me say that shit before in mainstreams. Like soon as Death Watch starts showing up, the more times I've seen them, the less respect and reverence I have for the Mandalorians I lost. And this is coming from somebody who had always had such fear and reverence towards Mandalorian since KOTOR, and freaking Filoni ruined that for me.
Well, it's not just the Mandalorians, but Filoni's Star Wars: The Clone Wars 2008 series. It was in retrospect a complete bastardization of the original expanded universe before the Disney buyout.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of stopped watching the modern stuff because there is this innate wanting to make fun of it, because for something that says, "Oh, the '80s is so cheesy," it was very cheesy in its own way, and I thought, man, they make such horrible heroes, but they would make great murder victims for murder mysteries.
Drago, get
like,
your ass up in
I
here.
better stop. Yeah, and it's like I better stop watching that stuff because otherwise Disney would probably sue me for killing off one of their, I don't know, acolytes, and then they're lesbo acolyte.
Oh yeah, don't
But-
they make babies for themselves out of the Force? So it's like Virgin Mary births in the Acolyte. There's like a
Yeah.
whole offshoot that's just
I'm mad.
lesbians.
I'm
Well,
mad at
that's
the fact
what I
they wrote my
heard.
people in it.
But
I'm still mad at the fact they wrote my black people in it. Like don't rope us in this bullshit.
Well, isn't it supposed to be the history of the character Reva from Kenobi?
I don't.
Yes, don't you
Yeah.
rope my people in this bullshit. We don't believe in that bullshit. Look. When I saw that shit, when I saw a clip of that shit, I'm like, man, how the hell y'all gonna make me flashback to Reva from fucking Boys in the Hood when she threw that fucking line at that dumbass white woman on the other line? Yes, his father, or do you think we make babies ourselves?
Her son Ginell, have him read the true sequel trilogy, and that's the Thrawn trilogy, starting with Heir to the Empire.
We have that.
And also a Splinter of the Mind's Eye, which is set between episodes 4 and 5.
Nah, that's the one where Luke and Leia like start showing feelings for each other. Ugh.
No, that didn't happen.
In Splinter in the Mind's Eye?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they were flirty, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time since I read that book.
No,
You're probably thinking of
that did not
Star Wars
happen.
Allegiance, which that takes place between episodes 4 and 5, because it's about Han Solo's allegiance to the rebellion and himself.
Okay, Splinter of the Mind's Eye, I know, was written for just in case Star Wars didn't do good in the theater. He could still make the sequel, but make it super cheap, and they were supposed to originally end up on Dagobah, but someplace else. And there's no Han Solo in it. Is that the same book?
Oh boy.
Or is that a different book?
I'm not sure.
I can tell you it's not the same book. But
Okay.
look, that's
No,
that's
Shadow
beside
of the
point.
Empire. Are you talking about Shadow of the Empire? The one with the bounty hunter that has the chrome ship?
I did not bring up Shadows of the Empire.
I have to
Okay.
go back through my library to go through my books.
I
to
know.
remember
Okay.
that.
Because I'm thinking maybe I think I am maybe getting Splinter of the Mind's Eye mixed up with something else.
Yeah.
But I do remember Shadows of the Empire because that takes place between 5 and 6. That's right.
But the point is we have the real sequel trilogy with Heir to the Empire, Dark Force Rising, and The Last Command. And after that, we have the original expanded universe, which remains the true continuation of Star Wars. So introduce your son to that, so he can experience Star Wars in its entirety, the real Star Wars.
Quite a few prequel stories, and which actually there is a lot.
A lot. Well, that'll be an understatement.
I'm sad that the EU for Star Wars never got made into anything, because one of my favorite characters from the expanded universe was Kip Duran.
All right, nice.
Yeah, no. So I read those books. I forget what the series that he first shows up in, where they end up at the Maw, and they introduce Admiral Dala, who was the lover of Grand Moff Tarkin, and she refused to cut her hair because when she was in basic training, they made her shave her gorgeous hair off and keep it shaved. And when she finally became an admiral, she decided to grow her hair out long, and she had the most beautiful hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I read all those. I even read Tales from the Maz Eisley Cantina, where they gave the backstories for a bunch of the different aliens. And I hope that I can get my son to read this stuff, but I'm not joking. Kathleen Kennedy and the sequel trilogy destroyed Star Wars. He got rid of all of his Star Wars stuff. He was the biggest droid fan. His favorite droid was R2D2 and the Gonk droid. And he had all sorts of droids. When we go to Disneyland, we'd go make the little droid action figures every time. Yeah, I mean, Kathleen Kennedy destroyed that entire series for my son.
If you want something that is, and I know this is, but if you actually want something that is more droid, more space robot stuff, and lots of the explodey action bits, Osamu Tezuka did a bunch of classic anime, and that was, I forget which one.
Manga.
Yeah, manga. The
You
manga
have to go to
there
start.
has, a lot of that stuff is all the good Star Wars stuff without the Kathleen Kennedy cray-cray.
Well, the one reason I bring it up is because I know my son is not the only one who had, their parents show them the original trilogy and then get all excited for, the sequels, and then it just killed Star Wars for them. Like, he's not the only kid that I know. There's several kids that I'm just like, they're just like, yeah, no, it's not great.
Looking back now, seeing kids in Halloween back when I worked at the theater and seeing them dressed as Rey and Kylo Ren, now I'm looking back like, how much you want to bet those parents dressed them kids like that because they thought their kids liked that shit? When really, what kids wanted to look like was Padawans from the prequel trilogy.
Oh,
I hardly ever saw anybody dressed their kid as Poe or even Finn. It was all about Rey and Kylo.
Yeah, and I bet you a lot of those parents, it was really just the mom, and the moms were shippers.
Yeah, I totally agree with you 100%. I think
But
a lot of it.
I did see a Porg one time. I didn't see a Chewie though. Well, actually, no. I take that back. I saw a lot of Chewies in my time when I was working at the theater when we did Halloween. I saw a lot of Chewies.
Well, Hitman. Bijan Vong, Abalot. Good choices, but however, I will say Abalot is a cosmic entity you do not want to mess with because she is terrifying.
I left off on the expanded universe after they
Legacy?
they were in the middle of the war with the Yuzhan Vong.
Okay. So this
I
was
never got to
before
finish
Legacy.
it. Yeah, so they were in the middle of the what's his name? Jason hadn't turned into Darth Caedus yet.
Yes.
His sister decided not to be the Padawan of Kip Duran anymore, and told him off. Little Anakin hadn't died yet.
Well,
so yeah, I think I left halfway through.
Day special, so we are talking about fathers and father figures as we speak right now. Just everybody, just in case you guys watch the backwatch, we technically are bringing up some fathers and father figures so far.
In this case, Han and Luke from the real Star Wars, aka the original expanded universe, because they became fathers in their own rights, and they're dang great ones.
Like Hugh Tucker and Maeve Hughes.
I actually liked Han Solo as a dad because, he had been a criminal at one point and redeemed himself and ended up a general, and he was just kind of like, he was the hands-off parent. When I say he was the hands-off parent, he wasn't the intense parent. Whereas Leia, in my opinion, was the more intense parent. And just their different parenting styles, I thought, balanced out very well for their 3 children.
I concur.
Well, they did not repeat the mistakes of Anakin, is what Leia and Luke did not do when they became parents themselves. They did not make his mistakes. I will say this, since we're talking about fathers, I know everybody loves and is very entertained and love to rat on all the problems of Return of the Jedi, which I don't give a flock. I still feel Return of the Jedi. I still love it. I still think it's great. And one of the reasons I think it's great is that I love Anakin's redemption. And I love that Luke went back to redeem his father. Because when I first saw Return of the Jedi as a young lady, I wasn't expecting that. I'm going to be honest with you guys. When Luke said, a lot of people said, "Oh, they never said no." To me, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting Luke to kill his father. That's what I thought it was going to go because that's just the way these things go in these stories. I have to kill my father. He's lost his way. He must die in order to save his soul. But for Luke to say to Leia, I have to try to bring him back to the good side. I have to show that deep down inside there is a good man. I'm telling you, is the definition of what a hero is all about. Because who, if any of us, could do what he had done? I love the conversation between them in Return of the Jedi when Luke surrenders himself over to the Empire, and he and Vader are talking, and he says to Vader that I remember that the good in you, you can do this. Search yourself, Father. All the thoughts are going through my head right now, so I can't remember all the quotes, but I think all of you know what they were
You
saying.
failed, Your Highness.
Well,
I am a
didn't he?
Jedi, like my father before me.
Well, I remember
Yes.
Vader saying so
That was
sadly
great,
to
Final.
him, "It's too late for me, son."
Right? Yeah.
And
you know,
it's yeah.
go ahead, continue.
Oh no,
Continue,
I
Janelle,
was
then
just
I'll
gonna
say-
say that was like the first glimmer of like seeing Anakin really recognize that he effed up, and I think he was trying to tell Luke, "I've done so many horrible things, I can't be redeemed." Yet he redeems himself.
I agree with you because I agree totally 100% with you because that was the first time that made Vader humanized to me. When I'm watching this, I said to myself, "Oh, it humanized him. I don't see this guy as a villain anymore." For the first time, when he said that line, and it's exactly what you said. I said, "Now Vader is humanized," and I'm sitting there as I'm watching this, going, "Oh, maybe Luke was right," because I wasn't expecting Vader to say that line. But like you said, it's basically him acknowledge, "You can't save me. It's I'm already too far gone," and you can already start to see the conflict between him now. Now he's conflicted. Do I serve the Emperor or do I listen to my son's voice? As he's going
Well,
through this.
I
Your thoughts
think it
betray you,
also
Father.
shows
I feel it
it,
good in you. The conflict. There is no conflict. You couldn't bring yourself to kill me before, and I don't believe you'll destroy me now. You underestimate the power of the dark side. You will not fight. If you're not... God damn it. Sorry, Mama John.
Go ahead.
You underestimate the power of the dark side. If you will not fight, then you will meet your destiny.
You should let Final do the Luke part, and then you do the Vader part. Well, that would have been cool.
Luke, help me take off this mask.
Or you'll
I want
die.
to see with my own eyes.
Nothing can stop that now. Just for once, let me look on you with my own eyes. Now, go, my son. Leave me.
I can't leave you. I still have to save you.
You already have, Luke. You were right. You were right about me. Tell your sister you were right.
Father,
Man.
I won't leave you.
Oh, again, choking. I'm choking up right now.
Okay, no,
I'm getting
no,
goosebumps.
Wolf,
I'm getting goosebumps just listening to you guys.
I
Goosebumps.
cry every time I see that scene.
Me
Holy
too.
shit, why weren't they winning Academy Awards for that scene alone? It's friggin' devastating. It's good to see that Anakin is redeemed, but then he dies.
Yeah, that's
It's
the
just
that's,
like,
that's the
why?
Or when they removed his eyebrows. I hate that they recut without his eyebrows. He looks like a troll. I don't care that his eyebrows are gone in freaking Revenge of the Sith. Keep them on, George. Eyebrows go back in impossible ways that you can never imagine. You not need to like a damn frog in the
Oh
in
my!
the in the remaster.
Wolf, don't do it, Wolf. I'm getting emotional after that. What those words?
So once he removed the mask, I'm like, I'm not looking at no man. I'm looking at Kermit the Frog dying.
Oh God!
You were right. You were right.
Oh my God!
Wolf, don't spoil it.
Tell your sister you were right.
No, don't.
Hi, oh, Darth Vader.
Why'd
frog
you
here.
Why? I'm here just a few minutes ago. I was getting really emotional just listening to you and Final. And I'm like, shoot, I'm getting choked up just listening about it. Now you spoil it by calling it, you look like Kermit the Frog.
Because he did. He ain't got no eyebrows.
No, but
Kermit ain't got no eyebrows.
But Wolf, that's not the importance. The importance is the emotion of the scene, not the fact he's missing eyebrows.
Lord Vader, this is an unexpected pleasure. We are honored by your presence. You may dispense with the pleasantries, Commander. I am here to put you back on schedule. I assure you, Lord Vader, my men are working as fast as they can. Perhaps I can find new ways to motivate them. I tell you, this station will be operational as planned. The Emperor does not share your optimistic
I forgot my mic was
appraisal of the
muted.
situation,
Oh,
but he asked the impossible. I need more men.
Ah,
Then
fuck it, I'm
perhaps you
already
could
gonna
tell
sing this
him when he
shanty anyway.
arrives.
I thought I heard the old man say, leave her, Johnny, leave her. Tomorrow you will get your pay, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave
Okay,
her, Johnny,
you know who's a good
leave
father?
her.
Janelle,
go on.
before you get into that, Janelle, let me just say before you talk about that, I just want to bring out I cried heavily at that scene. I agree with you. I don't know why nominations were not given to Mark Hamill. Really should have got a nomination through the whole film, in my personal opinion, especially because those scenes with him and his father were some of the best in Star Wars history. But yeah, that I cried at that moment too. Okay, moving on. I just want to say, yeah, that was very emotional. But
Okay.
Go ahead with his choice.
This just popped in my head because I watched this movie again not too long ago. Lawrence Fishburne's character in Boys in the Hood
Furious.
was Furious was a That's another one that Lawrence Fishburne should have won Best Supporting Actor. He was amazing in that film, and he was a good dad that worked his ass off.
Late John Singleton directed that movie.
From Road to Perdition.
Still needs to finish that movie.
I have not seen Road
What?
to Perdition.
However, it is actually it's a comic book series of the same name, and yeah, a lot of people didn't know that the Road to Perdition is actually an adaptation of a graphic novel series from DC under their Paradox Press imprint.
Is it now?
Yes, it is. And I can back up Hitman that it is a very solid movie as well as the adaptation, but it really showcased the theme of fatherhood and the relationship between the father and son well, especially the consequences of violence, because it is more than just a story of avenging their family after they got murdered by the mob.
Actually, now that you mentioned that, I actually do want to mention one of my favorite father figures, which now I'm remembering a lot of them. One of them in particular, Batman, as a great father figure. And it's particularly in one story, it's in Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale's Batman run, in, was it Dark Victory? Yeah, Batman Dark Victory, where it's meant to be the origins of Dick Grayson in that story, where his whole mission was that he's so dedicated to giving people justice so that no one would end up that he did, and now he sees himself in Grayson, who also lost his parents just recently, and now he thinks, hey, I'm gonna bring this kid some justice that I never got as a kid, that way I can redeem myself for that. But then Alfred is like, well, no, there are times, while noble, there are times that you can't always be Batman. That I think the better option for you is to just stay and be with Dick Grayson and actually play basketball with him, which there's even that's even referenced in one of the episodes of Young Justice in the earlier seasons. And so then if you want to be Batman then I guess you're gonna have to teach him how to fight then. Actually teaching him how to fight so then he can also get some justice, and that's when Nightwing became one of the greatest characters.
Speaking of Batman, I'm going to put Alfred up there as a great father figure too, because he was the one that raised Bruce after the Waynes died.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would agree on
He's also
both
not
of
a
those.
slouch either. Yeah, considering with Alfred, he was a former member of MI6, so he's also a veteran.
Yeah, wasn't he part of the Royal Marines?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and another one, we're going DC Universe. I'm going to put this out there too. Superman is the best dad. If you read,
Abso-freaking-lutely.
yes, if you read Tomasi's run for Action Comics Superman and eventually Super Sons, Bruce and Clark are shown as two of the best dads you can ever come across. I love the fact that, we all knew as Superman readers that, Clark was always going to be a good dad because his dad, Jonathan Kent, was such a fantastic father. But what I also loved is it showed Bruce was also a good dad.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really nice to see that kind of positivity with the character of Bruce Wayne, and talking about also he was a good dad to Dick Grayson. But yeah, I mean, Superman, we were all waiting for it, at least for me, for being a huge Superman fan. Like, it was so satisfying to see him as a father. So, on a side note, fuck you, Brian Michael Bendis, for taking that away from all of us.
Yeah.
To get things back on track, another solid father figure in fiction. Well, not really father figure, but he is a full-on dad. Red Tornado. He may
That's
be an elemental
right!
android, but he has a wife and a daughter that the two of them adopted. And I still, and to this day, that one story from Young Justice, the real Young Justice, the comic book series, it tells a story of both him and his wife losing custody of their daughter because he's not human.
That is the first time I am ever hearing about this. I need to get into this.
Oh god, Wally West, before Tom King ruined him, was also an excellent father.
Mm.
And he also had Barry as a father figure before he sacrificed himself and Christ on Infinite Earth, because like in Wally's home life, he would witness his parents arguing, and he found comfort in Barry, as well as Iris.
Mm-hmm.
And Roy Harper was also a good dad. That when he found out that he was the father of Leanne, he cleaned up everything about his life and stepped up, because Cheshire was too busy, with her criminal syndicate. And I thought one of the best things that ever happened to the character of Roy Harper was becoming a father. And it was nice to see a single father in a positive light in a story. That is, like I said, when we had talked about way earlier about Roy Harper getting his arm ripped off and then his daughter getting killed, was such a bullshit move.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the
And not
funny
to
thing that I
mention
found...
Cheshire giving Leanne to Roy, or that was remains like a very selfless act of her, because even though like they didn't really marry, I realized the connection between the two of them was real.
Yeah, no, they were in love. That was the sad part. Cheshire and Roy were in love, but they were on two completely different paths. She could not become a hero. He could not become a villain.
Yeah,
And you wanna know
so
what's the
like
funny thing that I
giving
find about...
him Leanne, because she doesn't want their daughter to not be in her criminal assassin life.
Yeah.
And you wanna know what's the funny thing that I find about Wally West, particularly in the DC animated universe, is that a lot of his personality and character, especially with him working in a lab, that's all from Barry Allen, even though that's supposed to be Wally.
I think later on down the line, Wally comes into his own personality.
I mean, I get that it's supposed to be
Wally
familiar
from the book.
Yeah, I know that's supposed to be familiar that West was the current Flash at the time because Barry Allen died saving the DC Universe's Crisis on Infinite Earths. But it's still
Well,
very
not just
much
the
with Barry Allen's
universe, the
character.
multiverse.
Oh yeah, you're right. Going by the timeline, yeah.
Well, I mean, I thought it was weird in the Justice League movie. It was flipped where it was Barry Allen, but they gave him Wally West's personality.
It's weird how things change about the Flash.
I don't know
Whoa.
what to say about that kind of stuff. I find it kind of confusing. One character I think has come up recently has been Mr. Vanders from the comics.
Did Humble just cut out?
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oof.
Did she cut out?
Oh, wait,
Oh,
there she's back.
My device. It does stuff. It's got a case of the slows.
It has a mind of its own.
Yeah. I just need to beat it with a stick.
Okay.
Don't break that. You're gonna spend a lot of money doing that.
Yeah. And what were you saying? Okay.
Well, one of the things Mr. Vanders tells his daughter Carly in Come in America, issue 1, is a lot of people will concern themselves with telling you to be something you're not. The more important thing is just be the you can be. Be the you that you are. And it ended up being a big driving focus with her because she had to be superhero and then she ended up being corporate superhero and dance costumes, and she was the one with the feminist teacher that wanted her to be all guy, all girl boss and no girly stuff, and she loved fashion.
Where is this from again?
It's called Come in America.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And this comic got to be really good and infinitely got popular in Japan after they did a theme song to it.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to read that now.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, Come in America by Tim Lim and Mark Pellegrini. It remains one of the best comic book series that have been made in this current generation. Because it evolved from being a take that of how Carol Danvers, Miss Marvel, has been treated by Marvel. Common really came into her own and grew beyond the character that she was inspired by.
Yeah, it even has an assassin bunny rabbit in it. Assassin bunny
Oh, yeah.
rabbit and
Oh, sorry, excuse me. I tried to get my microphone away as soon as possible, but I failed.
It's okay.
okay. Yeah, it's even got a Marmot Girl, which is basically a version of Squirrel Girl, and
Hasn't Common America done crossovers with Rags and also Punchline?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's also gotten a bit of a connection with the other comic that was called Soul Finder.
Soul Finder.
That was Douglas Ernst, wasn't it?
Douglas Ernst.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's get back on track. Let's also bring up.
I have one more good father figure character. Actually, two. Uncle Ben, Spider-Man, and Daisuke Ito from Battle Angel Alita. Got him.
That's great choices.
Yeah, I got quite a few of them.
What?
I was
gonna say another good two. One is a father, and the other is a father figure. Jack Drake, the dad of Tim Drake, the third Robin, and of course Master Splinter, they're of TMNT.
All right.
Go ahead,
Another
final. We'll go
reason why
to
we
Matt.
should hate Identity Crisis because they killed off Jack
Yeah.
Drake.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a whole other
I
thing.
fucking hated that too.
Yeah.
Look,
Don't worry. I
we
feel
can
your
touch
pain.
on that later.
All right.
Final?
Two of them that I have in mind. Jean Valjean from Les Miserables. Actually, one of my favorites father figures because it is absolutely my favorite story. And Odin in the Norse myths, both the Norse mythology and the Marvel Comics Odin.
Two good choices.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what?
Okay.
I give you credit for Les Miserables. I could not finish it, not because it's boring. It was so devastatingly sad. I got really depressed.
I mean, I can't
Ready
blame
for
you
the
there.
bad?
Can I name my other two? I have two more. I'm not going to stay.
Damn,
long.
I'm ready to get nasty. What the hell? That's why I put me in the corner. Go ahead.
My two.
The sword.
For father figures, probably the best father figure ever is Uncle Phil for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I take him even over Bill Cosby, and not just because of the scandal, but I just think Uncle Phil is just really what a dad should be all the way around with his family and with Will himself. And
Okay, I gotta say, the episode where Will's father rejects him, that was the best episode with Uncle Phil because Will realized that's really like the father figure he needed. Such a good episode.
oh, that's why it's a classic. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
so many Uncle Phil moments in there that really need. Yeah, there's a classic, and I just like all the episodes where but I think that's when Will realized that Phil really was the true, like you said, the true father to him. His biological father was not there.
Like I'm 7 anymore, sitting at the door and asking when Dad's gonna get home. I learned to fight without him. I just took my first basketball. I got real good, didn't I, Uncle Phil? I had 14 great birthdays without him. And he didn't think to send me a card this time. To hell with him!
Yes, and that's why I get tired of Will Smith playing Will Smith because he proved his acting range in that episode.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he wanted to do it, because he wanted to prove that he could show his range. So you're right, that's exactly what he wanted to
I'm gonna
do.
find me a honey. I'm gonna marry her. I'm gonna have 4
Yeah.
little big children. And the damn thing, he could teach me how to love my kids. Come here, don't want me, man.
God, yeah, when you said how come you don't want me, man? I watching that for the first time as a teenager just broke me.
Well, you guys, I did say let's get into the bad. That Lou, Will's dad, bad father, bad father.
Well, wait, I
Very
think
bad
Leia
father.
had one more person besides Uncle Phil for good.
I was going to say, and above, that's a good one. Carl Winslow should be mentioned. He was a good father too. I was going to say King Triton for the Little Mermaid.
Look, damn it, Leia's talking. Jesus. And they say I'm bad at the interruption. Look at that.
It's okay.
Go on, Leia.
That comment was very good. King Triton from The Little Mermaid. And I say this because, yes, at the beginning of the film, King Triton is very stubborn. He doesn't want to listen. And he has his own prejudice towards humans. But in the end, you see a change of, well, really it's towards the middle part of the movie that he began when she goes to the surface, she goes to Ursula.
God bless you.
She goes to Ursula to become human. And King Triton realizes that, and he says, what if when he says, go out, find her, you got to find where she's at. And they say there's no sign of her. And that's when he realized that he went too far, because he says, what have I done? What have I done? And that was out of his own prejudice towards the human world. And of course, we know when she finds out that she went there against his wishes, he loses his temper. And that it's that what he did to her that pushed her to run to Ursula, of course, because of his actions. And I think that's why he realizes that. I'm talking about first of all, let me make this clear. The animated Little Mermaid.
God bless you.
Bless you.
Not that not that abomination live action tokenized black Little
Yeah.
Mermaid. I'm talking the
We don't talk about
animated.
that.
Yeah,
What?
is when King
What
Triton
live action
realized.
Little Mermaid? I
Oh,
don't. No live action Little Mermaid movie exists.
all right, we're all on the same page then. All right.
And before we move on, Hitman Wanderer
Yeah.
also brought up a good father figure, Uncle Iroh from Avatar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Yes.
Iroh, I was gonna get to my bad dad before y'all kept fucking shoving me to the corner.
Well,
Because we have a lot to say.
Well, Triton is in the end. We realize what I like about Triton is he does see the error of his reasoning, because he is the one that cast the final spell to let her go. And then when it comes to the wedding and she's getting ready to sail away, she tells him that, that she loves him. And I still get emotional at that moment. I cry every time that happens, because you get more critics say, well, Disney princess movies are just the prince rescue the princess. There's more to the Little Mermaid than a lot of people think. And one reason is you have this relationship between Triton and Ariel. That is pivotal
Okay,
in the
Hotshot.
story as well.
Let's see if you could try to tell stuff about your parents, huh? Huh?
The series from the Little Mermaid, the TV series, also showed an episode of some bad parents, which was two rich, neglectful parents that basically gave their kids an allowance but never showed up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It did show how Triton was a good parent, because he was there for his kid, the disciplining, the spending time, praising for good. And then Ariel ended up getting to go to a nice wild party where a bunch of teenagers had no supervision. And she's like, oh, dear God, I want my dad.
You're right. Yes. I totally agree. So there were times, yeah.
Let me
I wonder why.
let me vocalize the storytelling at play of what Leia was talking about when it came down to Triton. So this whole thing was about a father finally relinquishing his daughter to the suitor. That was the A plot of the story. Right there was the fact that you have the next door neighbor's son, being wooed by the daughter, and the father. The traditional ways is that you ask the daughter for the hand in the marriage of the daughter. That's why the daughter say, okay, we're gonna meet my dad, and the son-in-law to be always gets cold feet, because that's usually the trial time of being vetted by the father. Y'all feel me?
Sure, I'm following you. Yes, absolutely.
Which culminates in basically what Leia was saying when he turns her to a human. That's symbolic for him, giving the blessing to the son-in-law. Yes, you will take my daughter's hand in marriage.
Yes.
Which is fine storytelling from Disney way back when. But oh no, feminists had to ruin all that shit, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
Didn't you also pointed that out in when we were talking about the Lord of the Rings trilogy, where Arwen sacrificed her immortality for another immortality when she later on went to go marry Aragorn?
Yeah.
Yeah. Same there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Elrond
I brought that up. Yep, that's why I still stand by what I said from that stream as well. Arwen, Elrond was very, very Elrond in his arrogance, believed that immortality was everything to an elf. It was all things to an elf, because they get to live forever. They hardly ever age. That was the quintessential makeup of the elf. That's what makes them whole. That's what makes them highly above everything, because they get to witness life and death all at once all around them. And to lose that immortality will be just like losing your left arm, if nothing else. So she was giving up her left arm just to be with some man that probably died before her, and he just thought she was going to be lonely, immortal and lonely. But the thing is, Arwen gave him a vision of the trade off. Tom Sowell always says there's no outcomes, there's only trade offs. Or what was that saying? He says there's no equality, there's only trade offs or some shit like that.
Um,
Paraphrasing, the trade off of the sacrifice. Now, this is the thing that always intrigued me about storytelling at all times, and it's about the nature of sacrifice, the nature in itself of sacrifice, what one is willing to give. And most people, when people tend to talk about sacrifice, and when every time they implement the trope sacrifice, right? Modern writers forget, they always leave out one thing. The sacrifice, no matter what the nature is, there is a trade-off, usually a benefit or sort of a backlash, and it depends on what you're sacrificing for and the nature behind it. And Tolkien did a great job with that. Arwen sacrificed her immortality. The trade-off was that she gets to experience a full life that a human experiences, and that is find the one that you love, make babies, die a good and a full complete life.
Mm-hmm.
That was the trade-off. That was the gift. You know, from the sacrifice
Absolutely.
itself, and that's one thing that's missing a lot in most storytelling is the sacrifice, the stakes, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I agree 100% on your interpretation of both. And one
Now,
reason is
backing
because the
on
what.
track,
Mhm.
you guys bring up Iroh and I bring up Ozai. There's something I've been pondering about, especially as of today, while I was at work. I want to do a sort of a project, a series of art illustrations through the perspective of Ozai. And on the side, do that fucking rewrite of that dumbass one scene with Ursa chastising Ozai and bitching him out because I refuse to believe that they were in a loveless marriage or a loveless arranged marriage. Fuck that noise. I have no doubt in my mind that both Ozai and Ursa loved each other. And really, truth be told, when they did side rant, guys, brace yourselves. And that's my boy's phone in the background. So insert comedy there. And I'm over here trying to get dramatic too. And once again, there it goes. You know what? Her comedic time is impeccable too. She learned from the master, by the way. Not kidding. But no, side rant, brace yourselves. Um, the way how the new writers handle Avatar later on after the Legend of Korra really says something about how they view characters from the outside looking in, right? So the way how Avatar present the Fire Nation over time, from over three books, mind you. Yes, you see the horridness, but you also see the human side of them too. That's where it gives me the idea of Ozai and Ursa was in love when they married. They both love their children differently, mind you. They their views of the way how the Fire Nation operate probably differ too. So I want to do a little fanfic rewrite of that of Ozai, of what happened to Ursa and what was going on with Ozai and what set him off the path that he did. And just to touch base on everybody, what I want to do with this rewrite, my wife's phone is distracting me right now. I can't get my thoughts together. I love her so.
We'll wait.
But yeah,
We'll wait.
I got my thoughts clear. What I want to do, if I ever get around to it, because I'm lazy as hell, I ain't afraid to admit that, is One, give a sort of side B ending to Ursa. To me, I believe Azula killed her after she killed Azulon. I think she murdered her when she left. I
Yeah, that was
and
good.
I the reason why I say that because here's how I want to frame it. After she killed Azula,
Okay.
um, Ursa is already about ready to lead the Fire Nation, and Azula catches up to her. Now, mind you, she's still a little kid, mind you. But here's how I would do it. The last words that Ursa said before she dies to Azula, "You are a monster." My
Ooh,
mother,
that was good.
she called me a monster. She was right, of course, but it still hurt.
Mm.
And Ozai see her do it, but he never told Zuko, which is why Zuko runs up to him, and you only see nothing but Ozai's back. I want I want to do an art piece of Ozai with a tear to his cheek because he cannot bring himself to tell Zuko what happened. Oh, I'm getting teary eyed right now.
Oh man.
I'm I'm mentally
That's
I'm
okay.
mentally overstimulating myself with my own dumb idea. It's not dumb, but I'm calling it dumb just for brevity. Uh, but that's what I want to do one day. Just do like little side fanfic storyline about the tragedy of Azulon, Ursa, and Ozai. But I also want to rewrite that scene where Ursa visits him in the cell, and she doesn't call him weak or small or arrogant. No, she talks to him like a wife, like a former wife. And the dialogue will be as follows. And excuse my wife's music background, but try to work with me here. It's very dramatic.
We're
I thought
listening.
killing I thought killing your father would do more than just save our son. I thought killing him would save you from him. You were so dead set on following his example, following his orders, that you were willing to hurt our son. And I killed him to stop you from saving our son. And unfortunately, my decision did not even protect him from you. You hurt our boy, and you hurt our little girl. And Ozai is not going to look mopey. He's not going to be looking sad. He's going to face her and says, "That I did. I hurt our children, and I And that day when you decided to kill my father, I promised you I would do what was best for our children, and I failed that. I failed you." He will own up to his mistake. He cannot bring himself to own to his mistakes to his son, but in that moment, he will own up to his wife. Y'all hear that?
Yep.
Thunderous applause.
Yes.
Yes, but I was
Yeah.
listening. I was listening to you as well.
Yeah.
Y'all were into that, huh?
Well,
That's
I'm
what we
not
didn't say
familiar with
anything,
this.
right?
But
I'm I'm not.
if I was writing that comic, that's how that conversation would have went right there because they loved. I'm telling you right now, I strongly believe Ozai and Ursa did love each other. Hey, fuck you, Hitmon. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, the Avatar comic books was like after the last Airbender came to an end and Legend of Korra was about to begin, it really didn't do the animated series any favors in the long run.
Nah. Though the costumes were amazing, though.
They
Yeah.
were how they were, however, it doesn't take away the fact that it goes to show that the right that the creators were pretty hands off when it comes to expanded material for the universe of almost call it Star Wars, the
Mm-hmm.
universe of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, I'm not saying that makes up literally for the whole thing, because it's still shit.
Y'all ready for the
Um,
nasty?
Oh,
cry, go
Legend of
ahead.
Korra took the character of Aang and made Aang a bad father. So I
Oh,
hate
I'm
that
I'm
series.
I'm already writing in my head how to rewrite that shit.
Alright, but go ahead, Wolf.
Y'all ready for the nasty?
Go
Sure.
on.
Oh, brace yourselves and pucker your assholes.
'Cause, I mean, I already got two in mind, but I'll listen to you first.
Shao Tucker.
Dang it! I was gonna bring that up. I was
Shao.
gonna bring that man up.
Sh- we
Dang
you
you,
know,
Wolf.
we're psychics. We're psychically linked. Shao Tucker from Full Metal Alchemist. That motherfucker.
Yes, I think he's probably in the category of ugliest for the
And
horrific things
that
he did.
and nastiest when you factor in brotherhood, because Jesus Christ, man.
Well, granted, well, keep in mind, like Brotherhood was meant to be like more faithful to the manga, whereas in the original 2003 series, it was faithful to the manga for a while.
Until they ran out of manga.
Material, yeah, but it is important to mention that the Shao Tucker and the source material, as well as the two adaptations, he by far wins of one of the worst parents in fiction of all time.
Oh, Shoot Tucker was a perfectly well written bad dad because he looked
Exactly, and
friendly.
that's what makes him a good character as a villain.
Agreed.
Like at that time, so like even when the manga was accurate, like nobody knew that he would actually go to that length to keep his job.
Let's see, what was another one?
Oh, you
I
know
got
who's
two in mind.
I've got one, which
Go on.
you might not agree with me, but let me explain real quick. Paul Atreides. When he
Ooh.
became a dad and then decided not to follow the golden path and foisted it upon his son Leto instead, he's a bad father.
Yeah, he's definitely not the ugliest and nastiest dad in fiction, but he unfortunately became a bad dad in fiction.
And I do have two horrible fathers in mind. Actually, three. And yes, all three of which are Final Fantasy dads. Um, Doc-
Anyone? One of them in the bad category?
yeah, all three of them are in the bad category. It's
Okay,
Cal's.
so not nasty.
Yeah. The first is actually one of them is, but the first one to mention, Gao's dad from Final Fantasy VI. He is a horrible father just for leaving your newborn son in the wild soon after your wife died. Well, not a major character, but dude, that makes you unfit to be a parent. Sorry to hear about your wife dying and all, but this isn't about you. Fuck you. Though at least the one good thing that I would give that in that side story of Final Fantasy VI is that what the hell? I thought I heard my
No, Wolf muted.
echo. In that side story of Final Fantasy VI was that Gao does shed a tear knowing that his dad is still alive.
Sorry about that, guys.
At least.
Sorry about that. Final mic laptop a little wonky. There's a storm going over here. That's why you heard yourself echo a little bit, but it's okay now.
Okay.
Continue.
And the storm's past where I'm at. Another bad dad is basically the same as shoot, I forgot his name already. As the Full Metal Alchemist father, Dr. Sid yeah, as Dr. Sid from Final Fantasy XII. He's Balthier's dad. He is so obsessed with his own work, he never spent any time with his own son. Just serving under Vane Solidor, just so he could keep his own job, and just is so enamored with his own experiments. Yeah, no. Screw you, you are a horrible father. Although your son is actually a badass. And the nastiest father, for Final Fantasy dads, Professor Hojo from 7.
He was on my mind too.
Mm-hmm. Like Dr. Sid in Final Fantasy 12, being so enamored with his own experiments, and that's all he cared about, and never spending time with his own son, which gave using experimenting on humans to inject them with Genova cells, even injecting it into his own wife, which later gave creation to a hero who would later on destroy the world, because he thinks it's his birthright despite the fact it's not. Yeah, horrible, horrible father. Even going so far as to kill the man who completely disagreed with him and then experimented on him, who then can transform into different monsters. And he was rightfully and justifiably angry at him, and then he would later get his revenge. Yeah, you got what you deserved. Fucking mad scientist.
I'll give you an even nastier dad.
Go on.
And last stream, we did go Game of Thrones, and we're going there again. Bruce Bolton.
Oh, yeah. Because of the way of Ramsay's conception and playing people.
He remains a bastard. And
I'll give you 3: Roose, Craster, and Theon's father. I forgot his fucking name. That's how much I hate the fucker. Master Greyjoy. I'm going to call him that. Master Greyjoy.
Balon?
Balon. Thank you. Balon Greyjoy. Fuck that dude. Nothing was ever good enough for when it came to Theon. Mr. Can't be pleased.
Oh.
I've got one that's like nasty, ugly. Gendo Ikari from Neon Genesis Evangelion.
ooh.
The Rebirth trilogy tries to fix that, and I don't like it. Janelle, I don't like it.
I haven't
So-
watched Rebirth.
Add that even the Rebirth
Okay, well,
can't fix them. Wow, that's great.
Sorry, not Rebirth, Redo.
Long story short, essentially, the redo series of Evangelion essentially giving the characters a more hopeful outcome.
I still don't like it. I don't like Gendo.
I like the fact that Evangelion ended on such a weird but devastating note that they lost.
Yeah, that's why the redo film series was
together.
Yeah, well, that's why the redo series was made. And also like to reflect where Anna was at.
I like what Redo was doing. I just didn't like the fact they were trying to make Gendo a good guy. I was like, I don't want it. No, he should stay consistent.
Well, the question
The
is,
person that should never have gotten that treatment was Gendo. Fuck that guy.
well, the question is does he belong in the bad dad category or the ugly
he's
dad?
nasty. He's nasty.
I'm going to say ugly nasty because
Yeah.
Gendo helped cause his wife's death and then blamed Shinji for it, even though Shinji had nothing to do with it.
That's nasty.
Abandoned Shinji, psychologically abused Shinji, made clones of his mother, which was Rei Ayanami. He's just a horrible fucking person.
Let me give you the criteria of what makes good, bad, and ugly and nasty. Or let me compare the three: bad, good, ugly, and nasty. Bad is just the parental abuse and all that stuff. The usual parental kind of light parental abuse. I said bad, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Ugly is the parental and physical abuse and downright neglect. Nasty is just vain and or basically like evil shit, like complete evil shit done due to vanity. And Gendo is tucked into Nasty because all this shit was vanity at play. That's why. That's why there should be no in between on that shit. No, that's full on Nasty.
So
Well,
he's
That's
well,
full.
let's not forget emotional abuse, which is the type that not a lot of people really go over. They
Put it
focus
like
mainly
this:
on the physical.
the reason why I put him on the Nasty because he is the cause of his son's Oedipal complex.
Didn't he also bring in the second? What was it? Every time like there would be like a major shift in the world, he helped cause what's her name's father's death too. Fuck. Oh
Are you
God,
talking
the
about
woman that became the head of security, that was the drunkard.
Masato?
Yeah, he helped cause her father's death when like the second event
Second
happened.
Impact.
Second Impact, thank you. He
First
helped
Impact.
cause Second Impact too. The guy is evil.
Was it first or second Impact? No, that was the first Impact.
Oh, that was First Impact. You're right, because they were in Antarctica.
Right.
Second Impact was the end.
No. There's the first Impact, there's second and third Impact.
Really? I thought
Yes.
when was the second Impact then?
Second Impact was when Masato's dad died.
Okay.
Okay, so it was Second Impact.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now Jack Torrance from The Shining, but like he wasn't perfect, but he clearly loves his son and his wife. However, it's like yeah, well, I'm placing him as bad because he does like love his family. However, when he came under the influence like of the malevolent spirits like of the hotel, so like that's when like both readers and the viewers were witnessing like Jack being transformed into something that
The
he
real
isn't.
question is he referring to movie Jack or
Oh,
book
book
Jack?
Jack.
That's
Harlan
what I want to
Wade.
know.
Harlan Wade. Yeah, I want to say bad, but yeah, more. I want to say ugly. Ugly, but then even like in the first Fear, he expressed remorse for what he did to Alma and tried to set her free. However, that ended up backfiring on him because Alma just proceeded to liquefy as what happened in Evangelion.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all ready for best dad figure?
Yeah.
Who?
Best dad figure.
Okay, before we do one last one, and then we can move on to our best death figures, I just mentioned very briefly. Has anybody seen the movie The Iron Claw?
Not yet.
No.
Not
Okay,
yet.
all right. I'll have
But
to come
I
back.
know I know what you're talking about, and yeah,
Yeah,
he would belong onto the he will belong in the ugly category, even though he didn't really physically abuse his sons, but it was emotional abuse.
yes, I would say a lot of emotional abuse he gave to them. He was not a very good father emotionally. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you with that emotionally, especially after the death of one of them. Well, there are several, but one in particularly, he really showed,
Yeah,
yeah, how really and I'm glad they show that because emotional abuse is just as
it's
painful as
bad as
physical.
physical.
Yes, it is just equally because some people say, well, I don't see any physical scars. Or emotional abuse is worse because those scars, they last you a very long time. You never quite get over it. So it's just as detrimental. He was very, very much, if you really look at the film, there were many moments he was emotionally abusive to his sons, especially the youngest one that
Hmm.
wanted to be a musician. The youngest one, the way he talked to that youngest one, and the way telling them that I don't want any crying, or how unemotional he was when one of the sons died. He
No
told him
more
they couldn't cry
spoilers,
at
but
the
she's doing it
funeral.
right now.
Okay, well, some people
It
out
wasn't
there.
really spoilers. She was giving
I'm
general
messing.
information
I'm
because
messing. I'm
I
messing.
know, I know. Well, with Iron Claw, it is an autobiographical story of the
Yeah,
Von Erich family.
yeah. So a lot of people know the story. Dom is right, but the
So y'all
dad,
ready for the
And
yeah,
test?
now, William, we will talk about Yui later in a future episode of Real Millennials when we touch back on mothers and mother figures.
okay.
All
Are
right,
you ready
well,
for
go
the
ahead.
test? You idiot! Didn't I tell you that the more impact he absorbs, he gets stronger? Yeah. What about it? A true hero continues to smile even in the face of danger, even if his injuries are too great. All my bitches.
All Might, great choice.
Mm,
By the way, how was my All Might impression?
good.
I'm not.
Good.
That's not bad. Even though, even though I don't, even though like my respect for Chris Sabat has been well deteriorated after the whole thing with Vic Mignogna when him and others put him under
Yeah,
the bus.
he was voiced.
All Might remains like one of the best father figures in fiction, especially because as a how he,
Voiced.
he because he practices what he preaches. Not to mention, he didn't lose his sense of hope and idealism. He's only throughout My Hero Academia, how even though people started leaving the series because the quality started to decline, but that's beside the point.
Eh.
Jesus Christ, dude. Info double, will you? Do you want some exposition? No, I'm kidding. I'm teasing Don, y'all. Don't take what I had to say as lighthearted punch out.
Hitman Wanderer said Darkseid was a dog ass dad. I must agree.
He
Yeah.
It
falls
was
in the
awful.
point of no return.
He's still nasty.
The point beyond redemption.
It
But
still blows my mind that the All Father gave up his only son to Darkseid, and
Oh
then
god.
didn't even give a shit when he finally returned. I'm talking about
Oh
Scott
goodness.
Free.
High five.
yeah,
Ta-da.
no,
So I'm gonna put the All Father up there with just bad dads.
yeah, like
Yeah.
he means well. He means well. However, he just went about it the wrong way.
Ooh, speaking of bad dads, Todokari's father. What was his name again? Fireboy.
Fire
Mm.
Emblem. His hero name was
In
Emblem.
Endeavor.
And it's
Endeavor.
Endeavor.
Fuck that
Yeah,
guy.
he falls on the category of bad dad. Well, no, actually, no. It
I
was
know he redeems himself over time, but fuck that guy in the beginning.
but yeah, no. I'm sorry, man, but you were pretty much you're so obsessed instead of being the number one. It came at the cost of your family and your
That fucking
wife.
is Ozai 2.0.
Yeah, he is bearded Ozai.
Hey, Ozai has a beard. He just got a steak beard. He got the
Like,
China beard.
okay, he's the buff. Oh yeah, I forgot. Ozai
He's the
has a
goatee Ozai.
Actually, I do kind of have a good father figure. So maybe people disagree, but Grandpa from the Boondock.
Oh hell yeah, granddad.
Grandpa's the best. And the reason is I started rewatching the Boondocks again, and just forgot how awesome Granddad is. My favorite. This is horrible of me. Some of my favorite scenes is when he whips off the belt and just beats Riley for doing dumbass shit. Gives him a whooping.
No, Riley deserves it. I don't give a
Yeah,
damn. I
I
don't
don't
give a
know.
damn. I don't give a damn what Riley do sometimes.
Oh no, Riley is awful.
No,
my
nine times out of
favorite
ten,
is when
he
he
needs that.
decided to teach this one single mom how to wield the belt on the kid that is causing such a commotion in the store that everyone clapped when she went on him like a tiger on a gazelle.
Granddad, have you asked yourself why a 20-year-old girl would want to go out with a man your age? Because I laid my game down quite flat. Game? What do you know about game, Granddad? I know the game. Taking women out to eat, giving them free meals. What part of game is that? You taking a Red Lobster with the cheddar biscuits. The fam ain't eating cheddar biscuits, but this random broad is eating cheddar biscuits. I know the game. Your granddaddy knows the game. Game recognize game, Granddad. I recognize game. Your granddad recognize game. Game recognize game. And you looking kind of unfamiliar right now. I can't. Where's Granddad? Can I help you, sir? I ain't got time to mess around with y'all. I got a date. I gotta get out of the way. Pretty girls. No, I'm kidding. That ain't the full thing, but I just threw my little flavor into it. Huh?
John Witherspoon is just so underrated as an actor. He's so good. Because you know what? He also played a great father in Friday.
Bang, 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 bang. Every time I come in the kitchen, you in the kitchen.
Yeah, not too much.
Eating up the goddamn refrigerator. Sorry, eating up all the food, all the chicken, all the corn, all the chitlins, all the pig feet, all the hog gnaw. I want some of them chitlins. I love pig feet.
You know what the best part is? John Witherspoon, like him exuding that father vibe. Like that is seen in real life, especially in his interactions with the Wayans brothers.
Yeah, pops in the Wayans brothers show.
Yeah.
Well, but I'll talk about it in real life as well.
True. He was also David Aguirre's dad in Boomerang.
Yep.
I forgot about that.
What's that?
Wait,
bang, 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 bang.
Wasn't he the bar owner and the ladies' man as well that got the one guy to eat shit?
Oh yes. And he was also in Vampire in Brooklyn.
Oh God, Vampire in Brooklyn.
He was also the annoyed neighbor in House Party, the original House Party movie with Kid and Play.
Yeah, he wasn't. He was funny in that one. Yeah.
So
he was funny in that one.
Before we wrap up, y'all want to hear my final best dad?
Sure. Yes.
Ko Tetsu from Tiger and Bunny.
Hey, and the original My Hero Academia before the manga came to be.
That man, Jesus Christ, Wild Tiger himself. When you learn that he is a father, and the way how he
and a widower,
and a willer, yes, thank you, a will. Oh wow, I cannot talk.
Widower.
Come to find out, he's doing this for his daughter, who thinks he's at work, who looks down upon him working at times until. Well, I ain't gonna spoil. Y'all gotta watch that for yourselves.
But let's just say her views about her dad changes for the better.
Yeah, he is the best hardworking dad.
Yeah.
He is a really hard
worker. It's also like worth mentioning. Yeah, I mean, we can say what we will about Robert Rodriguez like later on, but when people learned the reason why he made the Spy Kids film series, it was for his kids, which was very selfless of him.
Even the other kids movies that were not as great as the Spy Kids movies, all for his kids.
Sure.
Oh, Shark Boy and Lava Girl were that was co-written with his kids.
Shorts.
Shorts. I remember that.
Hated Shorts, but I understood why he did it. Still hate the movie because I watched it. I gave it a shot. Still hate it, but I understood why he did it. It's like look, I don't hate you for doing this. I still don't like this movie.
I only ever saw the first Spy Kids movie, but I loved it. That was great.
I will say there's one good thing in Shorts. There's only one good thing. The Bully Bride gets her own theme song.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Okay, look, Robert, I'm gonna give you that shit. I'm gonna give you that one. That was good. Like this bitch got her own theme song. Okay, one good thing about this movie.
But before we do wrap things up, I do want to bring back Master Splinter from TMNT and why he remains one of the best fathers in fiction. Yeah, even though he started out as a pet rat for Master Yoshi, when he and the other turtles unmutated, he took what he learned from his owner and applied that to his sons, and he ra- he raised them as best as he could. He's also no slouch when it comes to martial arts.
Who we talking about?
Master Splinter.
Splinter.
I thought we were talking Miyagi. Shit.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a good one too.
Yeah.
Daniel-san. Wax on. What? Wax on.
Even after all these years, everybody looks to Mr. Miyagi, and Danny Tanner as one of their dads. Even though depending on their relationship with their own fathers, they look up to them as comfort, but also as inspiration.
Shit. You know what? Yeah, let's close off this stream real once and for all. The number one undisputed dads right now, despite everything we've named so far, but right now, currently, Johnny Lawrence and Daniel.
Hey.
Yeah.
From Cobra Kai.
Oh yeah.
My goodness, Cobra Kai. Oh my goodness. Especially with
It
Johnny.
does a continuation right.
Especially with Johnny.
Oh God.
Magnificently done.
I love Johnny from the first movie, even as a kid. I like Johnny, even though he was the bully. So yes, something is wrong with me. But I mean, Cobra Kai just makes it so much better. I love that show.
Yeah, to give the first movie credit, you see there is more to Johnny, especially when the movie was getting close to the end. You see him giving the trophy to Danny to showcase that there's more to him than just a bully.
Yeah. He even didn't. He was horrified when Kreese told him to sweep the leg.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And let's not forget, in the beginning of Karate Kid 2, Mr. Miyagi went in and saved him from Kreese.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the one thing I really liked about the Mr. Miyagi character is even when they did the remake that had the black kid that ended up moving to China,
Oh god.
it was Jackie Chan carried the movie. Jackie Chan carried the movie, and it was, for what it was fun.
Man, fuck that movie. Only people who watched that was because of Jackie Chan. Fuck Smith's son.
I refuse to watch that movie, and I'm so pissed. You guys heard that they're making a new Karate Kid movie with Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan, and they're going to be merging both franchises.
Oh no.
Oh,
But
God,
no William
no.
Zabka. Are you
It's the
friggin'
apocalypse.
kidding me? You're not going to bring him in for the Karate Kid movie too?
Can we get Hilary Swank in already? I need her to be canon.
Yes.
It would be.
No, wait, hold up. The next Karate Kid, it is still canon.
It better be.
No,
Because Mr. Miyagi's in it.
yeah. Well, the thing is like Hilary Swank's character and Michael Ironside's they may not have been mentioned a whole lot in Cobra Kai. It doesn't mean the showrunners rendered that movie non-canon.
Do you know that the fan theory is they think that Julie is actually Tori's mom, the one who's dying that you never see?
That is a theory that I've heard through the grapevine.
I'm open to that, actually.
I am too. I mean, they brought back Robin Miller, for crying out loud, and made her the cousin of Daniel's wife, and that's how she met his. What?
That was a pleasant surprise. What?
I loved that.
That makes sense.
That was excellently done. Very excellent.
Yeah.
Not intrusive, not contradictive. Just It fits so well. Amazing. Also defeats the purpose of the problems of picking out which girl he would pick at the end of each movie, which was really good. Like really good choice. Create a new character, have them fall in love, marry, and tie them in with another existing character. Boom. Cobra Kai, y'all doing good. Keep it
See,
up.
No,
there
can you
is a
imagine like for the final season if like finally they bring in Hilary Swank and Michael Ironside's characters back, like, and they do like give a reason, explain more what happened because they actually with Julie's character, she was actually mentioned one time in a past season, which
What?
informs people that the next Karate Kid is still canon.
When did that happen?
It was
Episode.
either no, what not season one, but either season two or season three. But like it was like an offhanded reference.
Hmm.
It was
That
about
But
Mr. Miyagi's students because I think it was
yes,
Chosen that talked about it.
oh,
yes, thank you. It was Chosen who referenced a Julie.
oh my goodness. Chosen. What they did with Chosen.
Oh
Amazing.
my God, Chosen's one of my favorites now. He is so fun.
And his
Hulk.
redemption was handled really well. Like
This is
him, and also the
Hulk.
return of Mike Barnes.
Oh yeah, that was
Mm.
awesome with Mike Barnes' return. And Mike Barnes is the cautionary tale talking about how Terry Silver totally screwed him over and he had to start from the bottom up again.
Yeah, but hey, well, at the end of the day, like he turned his life around, like met his future father-in-law, who all introduced him to his daughter. They got married, and him and her like they own like the furniture store.
Yeah, and then Terry Silver did the Terry Silver thing by burning it down, causing Mike Barnes to go on a coke-fueled binge and
Oh
Yeah,
kidnapping everybody
which
at Johnny's bachelor party.
yeah, yeah. We got to keep in mind that in the beginning of the previous season of Cobra Kai, Terry actually cleaned himself up, and there was actually even an extended scene of that talk between him and Kreese. But for some reason, they actually cut that out, which because they explained what happened to him after Karate Kid 3, which I
weird.
felt to this day like felt something was missing. Like I saw like the cut. Well, like yeah, the edited scene like from season 4.
Well, it just proves that John Kreese brings out the worst in everyone. He brought out the worst in Johnny. He brought out the worst in Daniel. He brought out the worst in Terry.
Yeah, I mean
He was
when he came back,
just
that my reaction was, ah, dang you, Kreese, you had to ruin Terry and also his redemption. You pretty much undid all of that.
I'm so
Yeah.
ready for this year's season coming up.
The final season.
I'm so ready.
So one of the reasons I'm sad that I didn't get to get Comic-Con tickets this year is because Cobra Kai is supposed to be at the panels. And we saw the first panel when Cobra Kai dropped the second season. They had the entire cast at the convention. Of course, William Zabka was getting the most applause and cheers, and there were people dressed up like Johnny from Karate Kid wearing really bad platinum blonde wigs.
Oh no.
Oh
So it
no.
was great.
And actually, a fun fact about William Zabka, he actually has a background in martial arts in this case boxing. Wasn't until he was casted as Johnny for Karate Kid that he got trained. He was trained like in karate, and he actually kept up the practice years later by also incorporating it with boxing.
He was a wrestler. He was on the varsity team in high school
Yeah,
and won a championship. And after he did the first Karate Kid, he went and started learning karate and Tang Sudo.
I know, and that's amazing.
Yeah, he actually fell in love with martial arts from being in that movie. So he was one of the few that actually knew how to fight in that
Mhm.
movie. And Martin Kove is also like a black belt in karate. He's been doing it for decades.
Mhm.
Okay, let's get started because I'm pretty sure you guys are big for time on going to bed. So I'll just do some nominees or honorable mentions actually.
Mhm.
King Joffrey from Coming to America. I'm looking for my son, the king. Speaking of course, there's
Yeah.
Mufasa. Remember,
Oh yes.
Eddard Stark from Game of Thrones, of course. Ned Stark, for those who don't
Oh,
know.
yes.
Tragic.
Best dad.
Tragic. Merlin from Sword and Stone, believe it or not.
Hey.
Yeah.
Well, more of an uncle, but still.
Yeah.
Still a father figure.
Yeah.
Which would make Uther Pendragon a bad father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, like, we're
Now,
going with like
breakfast
actual
stomach.
Well,
history
depending on the
of King
telling
Arthur.
of King Arthur, but
Brace
yeah.
your stomachs. Brace your stomachs.
Okay.
Donkey from Shrek.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, he is a good
yeah.
dad. I love Donkey with his mutant children.
Wow.
He even calls them his mutant children.
Hey, he didn't deny
they're a
it.
whole, yeah, they're a whole other chimera of that world.
Hey, look, it's a mystical land, so that flies.
I'd like to make one honorable mention.
Go
Yet
on.
another Final Fantasy dad, King Regis from Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, actually, you're right. He's a good dad and a good king.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, Jesus Christ, that game chopped up so much shit.
Is that the game with Balthazar and Fran?
No, that's
No,
12.
that's Final
Okay.
Fantasy 12.
Yeah. But I will say on a side note, we need like positive depictions of kings or even like authority figures in general. We really need to make a comeback.
Yes, we are having a crisis, which is the father is becoming an endangered species. We need
Here's
more
another one.
fatherly figures.
Got
Here's
another
another one from another series that's getting its next season coming up this year. Vander from Arcane.
Oh.
Bad Dad Silco.
Mm.
Even though people love Silco, but he's still a bad dad. Hell. Adoptive parents, specifically adoptive dads, like say the father in Flight of the Navigator.
Hey,
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Twilight from Spy Family?
Who?
Twilight from Spy Family?
Yeah.
Oh.
He belongs in
Oh,
Good Dad.
Lloyd.
Yeah,
Gomez
Lloyd.
Adams.
Lloyd, yep.
Yep.
Not really a full family, but a found family. The two elderly folks from Barry's Not Included, specifically the husband, looks out for everybody. The landlord, actually, they're both landlords. Don't tell me y'all never seen Barry's Not Included.
I seen it.
Oh my god, okay. I thought you
It's
said
about Frank.
Barry.
Yeah, Frank Riley from Batteries Not Included.
Yes.
That is a fantastic movie and underrated.
Yes.
Very underrated.
Batteries
I've
Not
seen
Included.
it.
The
It's
dad
been a long time.
from Gremlins.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Even the dad from Small Soldiers. That dude is a badass.
Yes, he is.
Well, you pack it, Tiny. Packing you.
Ooh, wait, the dad from the original Firestarter.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bad dad, but also hints of good. Balak from the animated Fire Breather.
Oh, yeah. Which is
Nasty
another
all the way up. Nasty all the way
comic
up
adaptation.
to decent. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Nolan, aka Omni Man.
Oh god.
Yeah.
He goes from being nasty to decent.
And last but finally not least, we've mentioned him earlier, Goofy.
Yes,
Yep.
Goofy. Oh
Yep.
my gosh,
That's
Goof Troop
that's
was
sad, but
amazing.
also he's actually the actually art. If I'm right, he's actually the first animated character who happens to be a widower because
Mhm.
he lost his wife prior to Goof Troop, and it's actually it also applied to be like the same wife from the old Goofy shorts.
Why? So you can go to prison? What are you talking about? Your principal called me. It's not what you think, Dad. You even lied to me. I only
Okay,
wanted to take my boy fishing. I never wanted to go. Wait, shit.
No, you're doing good.
I'm not your
You're
little boy anymore, Dad. I grew up now. I got my own life. Yes, I know. I just wanted to be part of it. You're my only son, Max. No matter how big you get, you're always gonna be my son.
And the moment like that sunk into Max, actually, his body language changed as you can see how bad he felt for pretty much like the duration of the movie for how he treated Goofy. Yeah, he's a kid and a teenager,
Hmm.
but even as they go to the period of adolescence, the kid, son or daughter, they'll still love their parents.
Hmm.
Janelle, you was gonna say something. What was it?
oh, I was gonna say, these characters. It's another Disney movie. They are both kind of bad, but kind of good. It's more just one's a jerk and the other one's hella irresponsible. Is Rick Moranis and Matt Frewer's characters from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh,
Right.
No.
or we shrunk
Like you'd think
ourselves.
You'd think, Matt Frewer's dad is that his father character is such an absolute dick, but then when his sons go missing,
Oh
he's
yeah.
really terrified. And then Rick Moranis is just a good dad, but hella irresponsible for leaving that shrinking laser out.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Oh yes,
Uh-huh.
girl attacking the city.
You you know I'll put him on the same spot as Goofy, Jethro from the Prince of Egypt.
Mm.
Underrated
Oh,
and almost overlooked character in that movie.
Hmm.
That man put Moses on the path to the righteous path via
well,
one musical.
well, I'll say one more. Hey, one more dad for fiction that deserves an honorable mention. Jed Clampett of the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yes.
Come listen to a
Well, then we're
story
gonna do
about
that,
Bill
Andy Griffith.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
You know,
Andy
I
Griffith,
never liked
yes.
Andy
Oh
Griffith.
yeah.
It's one of the few shows where I listened to the opening and change channel. That's I know people love Andy Griffith, but he was not for me. It's like
It's okay.
I'm just
It's
I'm just there for the opening, and then oh Billy Hillsman, hell yeah!
Yeah.
Right around the corner, Billy Billy's, hell yeah!
It's actually
Being
thanks to the
said,
movie. It was thanks to the movie that introduced me to the TV show proper, and Jim Varney did a good job playing Jed.
Oh yeah.
hell yeah! I remember the
Him
show
and
though.
Cloris Leachman did a great job as Granny.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love
Ellie Mae.
With her like she caught on all the bull crap of Velour. But I still find it
Ellie Mae
hilarious
is a real
that Rob Schneider he was also in that movie.
Dude, Dabney
Yeah.
Coleman was in that movie too.
Yeah.
We gotta talk about that one day. We're gonna talk about that one day as a movie spotlight, because we're definitely gonna be continuing the movie spotlights, but we're definitely gonna be tackling that. Y'all want to know who embodies a real tomboy? Ellie Mae. That's
Yes.
how y'all
Yeah.
know.
Yep.
Like that should be your template right there. If any of your tomboy characters that you pick don't fit that template, then you should not be calling them tomboys. Because those not like you could they're either tomboys by name, or tomboys by aesthetic, or tomboys by appearance, but they ain't real tomboys. Tell you that
Well,
right
Jed
now.
said that famous speech where he says that he raised her as a boy and he knew that was wrong. He had to realize that she was a girl, tomboy, but he did make that speech. He said, "I raised you as a boy, and that was wrong.
Y'all already
You're a
know. Y'all
beautiful
already
looking lady
know.
now."
You already know my identifiers of what makes a real tomboy anyway. So, do I need to repeat it here?
No, because I've already written all of that down.
Well, it does ties into fathers in a way. Well, here's
Again, I already have all that written down.
Well, I'm gonna say anyways. One identifier right there and then, boys, to spot a real tomboy. Real tomboys love their daddies. That's the reason why they're tomboys.
Okay.
One of many, but
Mhm.
the prime ingredient as to why they're tomboys. They love their dad. Tomboys do not grow up to kill their daddies or hate them. They love their daddies.
Yeah.
No.
In other
Yes.
words, a daddy's girl.
See, Janelle can attest because she's a real tomboy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yes, she is.
I don't know
Despite
if
the
you'd call
Rocky.
me a real tomboy because I did like girly stuff as a kid, but I also like to be very rough and tumble. I guess
No,
I
I
still am that
no, I
day.
said this in the stream too. Real tomboys like girly stuff. They just gravitate to more boy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's even a trope called a tomboy with a girly streak.
True, but
Yeah.
like I said, the tomboys I've hung out with always like girl stuff too. I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you right now.
Same here on my end.
Like I'm telling you right now. One day we're gonna talk about tomboys. I'm gonna tell you what counts as a real tomboy and what counts as. Now, mind you, these types are not bad. There are worse, but these are not bad. The tomboy in name only and the tomboy in aesthetic and appearance. Those are not.
We'll definitely touch on tomboys in a later episode of the Real Millennials.
And we'll bring Janelle on.
Okay. If I can
Or
make
maybe-
it, hopefully I can.
Hopefully you can. Not
Yeah.
probably not around this year. Probably next year when the clouds part or some shit like that. When the heavens
No,
allow it.
that this is just the tip of the iceberg of our show, The Real Millennials.
Yeah.
Well, I've been enjoying myself tonight, so
I'm off tomorrow, so this is why I'm going this long. Shit.
Yeah.
I got some time. I need to clean my mouth so many days. Anyways, I thank everybody for being here. Those Jesus Christ, back then there were 11 of you. And it's down to 8. You guys are committed. I love you. I really love you. 8 of you. And those nonsense motherfuckers keep popping in and out. Thank you, Janelle, for regaling us today and easing the burden off of Leia's tormented
Oh
path.
my God. Oh my God. I just give up. You think that's a
Kudos
word?
to your son for discovering the greatest greats of art that you have bestowed upon him, little by little, bit by bit, ever so growing. His love for entertainment is going to be sated by the time he reached 15, or at least it's going to be insatiable when he hits that 14.
oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
I wish him all the best that when he decides to go and explore on his own, if you allow him, of course, that's you the mama. Mama knows best. But once he goes that road, I hope he finds more entertainment that he wish he had saw years ago, or at least got to experience around your time and your husband's time. You know.
Oh yeah, no, I think that he's probably we're not going to be able to show him everything. He's going to have to see it all on his own. But I look forward to getting the phone calls. Oh my God, Mom, Dad, I just watched this.
Oh, speaking of immortal father, Janelle's husband.
Yes, my husband is an awesome father. He was born to be a dad.
Exactly. So I'd like to thank everybody for hearing us out and putting up with the madness. We'll be doing this more often. We'll pick right back up next week for X-Men season 4. So you guys got enough time to go through that. Real quick, just a minor correction. Last season's stream, I incorrectly placed the episodes in the season. The last 4 episodes in that season are actually crossing over into the fourth season. Final was actually correct. The episode that we're about to talk about a little bit are in season 4. There's 4 of them. We'll be talking more about them when we cross that bridge. I'll name them, but yeah, my file that I pirated, the episodes kind of got screwy there in season 3. And I looked up and did my research through the episode listings. Finally, you were definitely correct. But we'll talk more in detail about those episodes coming up. But I do encourage you guys to continue. If you guys have started watching season 4, looking at you, Humble.
Okay.
I mean, we're just in the home stretch of finishing up the X-Men show anyway, so...
Not sure Ginell will be joining us next Tuesday.
I will try. I cannot guarantee, but I will try. And like I said, I watched season 4, but it was so hit or miss when I was a kid. Like, I remember the Nightcrawler episode. That was great.
Right.
We'll talk more about that. What are we doing next on the Real Millennials, Dom?
Well, let's see here. According to the schedule, we are doing Tolerance Part 2, where essentially we're going to talk smack about Juneteenth and why it's unnecessary.
Oh, right. Yeah. Funny enough, I'm off on Juneteenth. That's funny. Thank you, Job. I'm sure there was no maliciousness behind that or practical joke. I'm sure they meant well. I love my job, though.
Was Juneteenth supposed to be about again?
We'll tell you when we get there, Humble.
Just know that it's unnecessary, and it was only brought up. It was brought up by the crazies.
It's
painful. Oh, yes. Yeah, they put in the same month as Body Training Awareness Month.
Oh God.
Oh man. Oh yeah, because we still gotta even talk about the unnecessity that is Pride Month, which is still this month, and no one's even celebrating that anyway.
Wait, Final. We are going to touch on that on June 27th, titled "Gays Then versus Gays Now." Essentially, we're going to talk about fictional characters who happen to be part of the gay demographic and how they're handled then, in contrast to how they're handled now.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay.
Compare Superboy's boyfriend to Puri Prisoner.
One Punch Man. Good call.
But anyways.
And let us not forget the acolytes and the craziness that thing has started.
Yeah, we'll save that.
We're gonna save that for June 27th, and we should also bring in other members of our group to talk about that.
Negro, can I say goodbye? That's just. I imagine Wolf is just saying that right now.
Too well, Final.
Yes.
Sorry if my impression of you was bad.
No,
that was dead on to me.
That was scarily authentic.
Why, I should thank you.
There you go.
Oh my God.
There you go. Of course, we also got later down the road. We are going forward with Beast Machines with the Gladiator of Kaon, Matthew Flynn, which he's looking forward to today. He's got his DVD ready. He's gonna be ready. So will we. Of course, Ginell will be coming back to us again, where we will finally tackle Genesis Climber Mosfida in August.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
More Macross coming your way.
Oh gosh, I really, really hope I can get my kids to watch Most PETA before we do that show. Because I'm just like, don't worry about Southern Cross, just watch this one, man.
Well, you can always Clockwork Orange him.
Oh no. No.
No. You don't do that to your son. You don't do that to your children.
That's
You're like, I said, I'm cute. I'm cute. You and your husband will be dropping eye drops in his eyes.
I swear, Wolf, I mean it.
forcing someone to watch
That's
them.
what's got the good idea. We have a gay on top. Wilma. Actually, that's another good dad. Fred.
Fred Flintstone.
Fred
Yeah,
Flintstone.
he's pretty good.
The OG, one of the OGs. But
Mm-hmm.
that's
You
not.
love
That's
the
not.
movie when
Yeah, let's
when he gets excited for grandkids.
Man,
and
I
he
ain't
decides
got y'all started.
to get life-size stuffed animals.
Got y'all started. So, roll call. Starting with the Mead Goddess, Ginell.
Thank you for joining tonight. I hope that I gave people some hope that, a lot of younger generations really aren't into the stuff that's out now. They're starting to discover the stuff that has come out before, and they're realizing that it's pretty damn good.
You know what's funny about that, though?
Hmm.
Those bullshit tabloid making motherfuckers are not doing their jobs well either, because you know what they say in their tabloids and all their online reviews and shit posting. They talk about how bad our entertainment was, or how sexist it was, or how toxic it was.
Barbara
Or-
Streisand back. This looks horrible.
Or
I
or-
check it out.
or racist, homophobic, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I had to do my Dark
Bitch, you
Stranger
looking for a
impression.
fight. You only say that because you're looking for a fight.
I'm just trying out that Dom did a Dark Stranger impression. Nice.
Yeah, actually, no, that'd be even better. Yeah, congratulations. You're looking for fights. You know what troublemakers are.
I said they're trying to shit post just for the sake of shit post because they can't have anything to say anything about our defense of our shit. Our shit was really good, wasn't it? My attempt
Yeah,
at
that's
Iron
literally a
Cast-
thing about a troublemaker.
my attempt at Iron Cast Night impression.
Okay, let's just not stall it. Let's not keep them stalling.
Sorry.
Well, you're next. The Warrior of Life Final Fantasy fan.
Well, that about does it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, click like and subscribe and share it with your family and friends. And make sure you ring that notification bell. That way you get notified of our latest videos. Go subscribe to 1210 Media if you haven't already. Go subscribe to me if you haven't already. And once again, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Final Fantasy Fan 12 signing off. And remember, may the light forever shine upon us.
The lovely Leia Leia plus size.
Good evening, everyone. This is Leia Plus Size, your lovely lady of valor. Thanking you for joining us for this very fun conflap that we had, despite Wolf's fears. I am still very confident in the younger generation. I like to hear what you guys think sometimes. It's always interesting and fun. It's enjoyable conversation. But despite all of that, I'm glad you all enjoyed it. If there are anything you would like to add to this topic that we did not mention, such as fathers, good or bad, please leave it in the comments below. I am sure Wolf pretty much appreciates that. And also like and share this stream as well to others. Right now, there's just a lot of streams out there that don't really have the kind of conversations we have. So share it with other people. I'm sure Wolf would appreciate that also. He would love to get more followers. But until then, everybody have a great weekend, and we'll see you all next week. And stay cool for those who are in a state like mine who are about to get a heat wave like I don't know what. So I hope you all stay cool because it's frying here in Michigan. It is we're gonna have a week of near 100
Every summer,
temperatures.
every summer where that always happens to me, I always compare it to the summer of 1995 because, Jesus Christ, I have heard so many people say that is the hottest summer in years.
Really?
Yeah, the summer of 1995.
I could think of some other summers, but I don't know. But next week in Michigan, we'll be near 100 for 7 days straight. Oh,
Damn.
yes. Yeah. Starting when, that's why tonight we had this horrible storm.
Think about that.
I don't like it either, but the weather has said, get ready. These storms came through, and now it brought heat and humidity, and that's why I say the heat index will make it feel like 100. So those storms did not cool us off. Ugh.
Yeah.
So
I
anybody
cannot
else?
argue with Professor Geek. Says out immediately outside and immediately you're hot. Just that
Can't
sucks.
Dom get a turn now?
Sorry.
Okay.
The hell of the South done it, pal.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this fusion live stream between Ginell reassuring Leia that the members of Generation Z are coming around, as well as going over father figures, the good, the bad, and the ugly across fiction in this latest episode of The Real Millennials. Make sure you stay tuned for next Thursday's episode, where we're pretty much going to just tear Juneteenth to shreds, in part 2 of Tolerance. This is the Hounds of South, Dominic Powell, signing off. And remember, keep up the good fight and keeping hope, idealism, and optimism alive in the world, because remember, cynicism and nihilism are for losers.
The humble as a writer's Humble Marty.
Hello, I'm Humble Marty. I write things. I am happy to be here, and I'm happy everyone came here.
Good.
I have books on for sale on Amazon.
One of them is on their icon.
Oh.
Well, I guess I am kind of dumb that I forgot to name a father in fiction. These are the two parents
About to say.
in a book, The Adventures of Corkhorn, and Crumhorn Baker, she's the dress, and Marrowhorn is the dad.
Nice. I was about to say, you didn't tell me Corcoran had 2 dads.
No, he definitely does not. But I do slip with a ton, and not everything I post online about it will remain canon until it's published in the book. And then if it's published in the book, it's not changing.
I like the way how this lady thinks. This has been your Welcome in the Wolf Town. Remind you guys, you are the UN Spacey. Welcome to the Wolf Fleet.
Me and my friends get no respect. What does